Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, it was trimmed down. It was like 2 hours longer before.
Trimmed down.
Yeah, it was like the original Twitch stream was like 2 hours longer than that. All right. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hello. I'm new here. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for making. What's that in your nose? Do you have a nosebleed?
Well, I haven't been sleeping very well, and yeah, I was shaving, and I like how the like the back of a razor sometimes has like the little trimmer thing, like that
Well,
next to my nose while I
I
was
don't
getting my
have enough
mustache.
hormones to grow anything.
And then it was just
so,
like the outs. It was just the outside of my nose, and then before, as I was setting up the stream, I was just like dabbing at the outside of my nose with a paper towel to get some of the blood off. And then I guess because of the pressure I was putting on the outside of my nose, then the inside of my nose started bleeding. So now my nose, my same nostril is bleeding in 2 different spots. And I also cut my finger on cardboard like 10 minutes before that.
Why?
Oh, ouch.
Why? I don't know. I couldn't
why
even tell you. It's just
my
these things happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably just because I'm not sleeping properly.
Yeah, well, that stinks.
Yeah, fair.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Pretty good.
Did everybody see Artemis Fowl?
No, have you?
Have not.
I
I
don't have
did.
Disney Plus. Not planning on it.
It wasn't very good at all.
Oh, you saw
did you
it.
see it?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah, well,
1 out
I
of
don't know.
10?
It's like a new thing, and it's supposed to be really bad, and it looked kind of funny. And Saber Spark posted a clip on Twitter, so.
Yeah, have you read the book?
It's feeding time.
I actually did read the first book when I was younger. At least the first book, maybe more.
Yeah.
But
I think...
yeah, that was a long time ago. So I remembered parts of it, but like it was very different in my mind than on the screen. Through no fault of the film, probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, what stuck with me the most about like the books was how like Artemis was actually this very evil character and stuff. Who in the book he kidnapped Holly the fairy and held her for ransom. He was like a little gangster or something, pretty much.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they basically just took that away, apparently.
Yeah,
what do you mean by that?
He's just a generic hero.
No, because like I don't know, because like it's like in the film, it's like a plot that would be more engaging if the main character was likable, but he's just not at all. And he's like he is an asshole. The main character is a complete asshole. I don't know if the film is like super aware of it, or if it's just like unavoidable if they're working off of the source material. But yeah, the main character is just completely unlikable, and the main actor sucks, and he's never been in anything else, and he's just some random kid. And I don't know.
Bad kid acting.
Yeah.
Is that
Jake
always
Lloyd
on
syndrome.
I know why I know about the whole conflict because, what made the book so great is that they actually embraced the fact that he was a real jerk and they were cranking that up and stuff, and it really made for a really compelling and interesting character. Well, in the movie, it's trying to be sort of this mix between he's sort of unlikable, but he's also sort of a hero and stuff. It doesn't really work.
It was like they were trying to make it seem as though being an asshole was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
It wasn't like that.
Me?
Yeah. We were talking at the same time.
Yeah, I guess being the likable asshole thing is kind of a trope. I guess it's kind of like what they did with Venom, where the symbiote, like they didn't have enough balls or they wanted to be too safe, so they made the symbiote just kind of a wisecracker. I guess it's kind of the same thing.
That one was weird.
I didn't read any books.
Because, like, in that particular instance, the entire point of a Venom movie is that you're supposed to be seeing a solo story about a villain character, but then he wasn't a villain anymore. He was a hero. He saved the world.
Yeah.
and he was like a
Isn't the
loser.
Catwoman.
Like, what was the tagline
the-
again? Wasn't it like the world has so many superheroes?
The
or
world had enough heroes, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And it's like
And then it ends up being
it's
the hero.
not really a villain movie. Like
Me too.
Joker was at least a villain movie, you know.
Masterpiece.
Even if
Yeah.
not, it wasn't really like a big superhero movie or anything, but it was like more true to the character not being necessarily like a hero, whereas Venom
Yeah.
they just didn't give a shit.
That's fair.
I
Yeah.
actually
The
I read-
PG-13 rating didn't help at all.
The world has enough
Venom 2.
superheroes. That's
Yeah.
I
Andy
actually
Serkis
really
is
like-
doing
Let there
Venom
be
2, right?
carnage. Let there
Yes.
be
Did
Did you see his
carnage.
Jungle Book?
Oh yeah, that whole title. I forgot about that. Yeah, no,
actually
I didn't
really
see
like
his
it.
Jungle Book version. No,
It
the
looks
straight to
pretty gritty.
Netflix one.
I kind of prefer
Oh, the Mowgli.
like asshole characters in movies because I like to watch movies that have characters that are different than myself because I feel like if you just relate to a character, then it gets kind of boring after a while.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's like you
if
can't.
a character's interesting.
Well, that's why
Understand
I
other
love
people's
character
motives.
so much because
You
you
know.
just get to see other people who live in the same world
Yeah,
as you. But
I think whether the character's good or bad is irrelevant. It's just whether or not
Hello,
they're like
Bean.
actually interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point of storytelling, to see this kind of situation that you can't just see in your own
Yeah.
personal life, and when they make a character just this blank slate,
Yeah.
then more people can relate to it, but it doesn't have any lasting power.
Yeah,
I
usually if you can like easily project yourself onto the character, there isn't much character there to begin with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the deal. Just
Yeah.
make it as much of like a blank, just a blank sheet of paper. A blank sheet of paper is not a piece of art. It's the lack of anything there.
yeah, like one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies of all time is called Naked by Mike Lee.
I still
haven't
seen it.
It's
on my watch list.
amazing. Uh,
I want to see it.
and it's basically about like these like five like really like asshole characters. It's kind of like It's Always Sunny, but it's much more extreme than that.
Yeah.
And it's not really funny, but like it's just so interesting because these characters are like sexually oppressed, and like one of them's like a sexual assaulter.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's just always interesting to see stuff like that. That's just, there are people like that in real
Yeah.
life, and I feel like it's weird because you always like put them off because you assume the worst of them, but then you actually get to see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
that's a mark of a good movie, when a character that's usually irredeemable can like be extremely interesting. Like, I have this DVD that I rented of, as you can see, I'm Israeli, but it's Talk to
Oh,
Her
yeah.
by Almodovar.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, the DVD is bad quality, but whatever, that's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah.
There's a character there that's in any other circumstance would be completely and utterly unlikable, but because of how they're presented, you can actually see into their head and what they do and how they think. And they have a friend that, despite that character being an asshole, they have like a normal guy who's their friend and likes them and wants to help them. It's a movie that, this character is like kind of a monster, but you sort of understand where he's coming from. Maybe not feel for him, but understand
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, you don't have to
Originally-
necessarily like relate to a character to like have an inner working of a character on screen.
Relatability is really just an easy way into attracting an audience. What's really
Mhm.
interesting is exploring something. I mean, it's not challenging. Relatability is usually not challenging. That's the thing.
All right, I'm gonna change this tissue. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Are we still
Okay.
talking about
Fun,
Artemis
I guess.
Fowl?
No, we're on to
And then we
Talking
kind of
about
change
characters.
subjects into characters and what
Was-
makes them
was-
likable or whatever.
Nice
was
guy.
Talk to Her the Pedro Almodovar one?
What?
Was Talk to Her the Pedro Almodovar film?
Yeah, it's Almodovar. I mean, if you can
Oh.
read Hebrew, it says Almodovar in big letters here. But yeah, it's Almodovar. The DVD is shitty quality, though. It's like, I usually don't have problems with DVDs, but this one is in letterboxed. It's like a fourth of the screen in the middle of the screen, and for the beginning of the movie, like, you know how in Tom at the Farm and Mommy, because of the aspect ratio, you feel claustrophobic and
Yeah.
scared. It's like
Yeah.
that. I felt uncomfortable, but luckily the movie was good enough so that like I separated that from
Oh,
the
that's good.
shitty aspect ratio.
Yeah, I think it worked.
Yeah.
Really. I think it worked really well in Mommy, except for when the character does this to the screen.
What?
Yeah.
That was one of the
When they
best
go like
parts. I
that.
loved
I
it.
love that. I love
Whereas
that.
in,
Yeah.
I
Also,
watched.
don't
I
But I
watched.
can
spoil
see
it.
why you don't like it. It
It sounds
can be kind of
hilarious.
forced.
It's
But yeah,
just
don't.
I couldn't
I
take
don't.
it seriously.
It can be seen as kind of forced, but I can buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like that's a movie where you have to like be into what it's doing. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. If you're not like
That's every
sold
movie,
on
though.
what it's going for, then it might look really stupid, which is
I basically
understandable.
loved everything about the movie except for that part in the last 10 minutes. But yeah,
I think it comes at night done it better with the aspect ratio, because it was
Yeah.
almost
I haven't
like
seen it.
you couldn't notice
That one's
it
a bit more
at first,
subtle.
and then yeah,
Tom at the
then
Farm,
the
I
pushing it like
know,
that.
Yeah.
did like a changing
It
aspect
wasn't
ratio.
true.
I saw that.
Mm.
I
Anybody?
watched,
No, you talk, Carson.
Oh. I watched half of Lucy in the Sky, but then when it gets to
Oh.
like the golf course, I'm like, when it gets to the golf course,
Yeah. That one
Yeah,
was
I
a
love how you in your
train
quickie you
wreck.
perfectly
That one,
showed
yeah.
like what it looks like without actually using footage, just recreating it. It was cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why would Lucy in the Sky was just so awful.
And
It's
nobody
like, why would
liked
they do
it.
any of that?
Even though it was at like one of these big film festivals, everybody just really hated it.
Yeah, I mean, being at a major film festival doesn't mean anything.
All right.
It really
You're
doesn't.
I try
right,
to
but
cut it slack.
still.
I try to cut slack for directorial debuts, though.
Yeah, but there are many good directorial debuts made for like half the budget. Like I saw Bad Taste, which is like this. It's Peter
Oh,
Jackson's
that's Peter Jackson.
student
I haven't seen that
filmmaking.
yet.
Oh yeah,
And, like it's not
heard about that.
good in a traditional sense, but it's like if you're drunk, I can see being entertained by it.
All right.
And
Yeah.
Primer obviously is a big example. Just because it's your first time doesn't
Body
give it an
Count.
excuse to be critically panned by literally everyone.
Does anybody?
Primer.
I'm looking at the IMDb for Lucy in the Sky right now, just because I forgot it existed and it's just so monumentally bad. Does anybody remember why it's like R-rated? I don't remember anything R-rated happening in the movie.
It says there was like language
Diaper
and
shit.
sexual content.
Parents
All
go
right.
up.
Who knows? Is it like
Man.
Canadian R or American R?
No, there is no such. The Canadian R would mean that it would be like NC-17 basically here,
Yeah, that's
which is
what I
like
was
impossible.
asking.
Yeah, there's no way that
Yeah,
we're
I
so
got
much more
confused.
lenient on our rating. The only R ratings we have here are films that are rated NC-17 in the States. And even films that are rated
I don't know.
NC-17 in the
I
States,
remember
we
how you said in real life there was like, it was this real person that drove around in a diaper, but in the movie she didn't have a diaper.
yeah, they forgot the diaper. That was like the most important part of the story.
Yeah,
so-
Yeah,
It's
and
smart.
And
That's
what
actually
was
a great
what was
film.
that anyway? Like I don't know the real story.
It's just some astronaut went to space and then came back and then decided to be a crazy stalker, and she just had a bunch of mental problems and then tried to like get on the next launch or something and like blackmail somebody and had to drive like across the state for like a day to catch up to them before the launch, but in order to do that,
Started that
she
sentence
couldn't stop
with
her back.
just. I don't think just describes the following words in that
And then
sentence.
she shits in a diaper.
Yeah, she had diapers because she didn't want to stop to use the bathroom because then she
Yeah,
wouldn't
and I
make it
remember
on
you
time.
also said there was a problem with the character motivation. It wasn't clear enough, and
Yeah, like-
if you're adapting,
It was
director,
just like
I'm a big fan of you. I remember what you said, that the
Yeah.
director in the Q&A said that he really cared about the character motivation and making it clear, but it didn't come across at all in the movie. And I can understand how it will be difficult to sort of get into the depths of this real person that I guess people don't know much about, but then just
I don't know.
either make it more fictionalized or don't make the movie. I get
Well,
that
yeah, I
you're
mean,
fascinated by this.
there's
I get that you're
there's
fascinated by this real event. But
There's crazy characters whose motivations are much more clear in other movies. But in this movie, the only reason why it was like kind of an offensive aspect is because the director literally said he wasn't even saying like, yeah, it's important. He was saying like, yeah, this is the one thing that we made sure to get right, basically, is what he said before the movie. It's like you'll understand her. That's the most important thing. And it's just like, well, I didn't. Nobody did. Like it seemed like you were just kind of compensating or projecting.
Well,
Oh,
the TIFF people liked it.
no, people didn't like it.
No, the TIFF
people
people
didn't like this.
got it.
Hmm?
Oh.
3.3% of people on IMDb gave it a 10 out of 10. Compared to
Is that how
the
that works?
9.8% of people that gave it a 1 out of 10. So almost 3 times as many people thought it was like the worst.
What are your favorite directorial debuts other than Synecdoche, New York?
Krisha's a really good one. Primer's a really good one.
Morris Paris.
Morris Paris is a
How about-
great
When did
one.
was that? I had no idea that was his debut.
What was Spike Jonze's first movie?
It was
John
fucking
Malkovich.
being
John
John
Malkovich.
Malkovich. That's an insane
Yeah.
directorial debut.
Yeah, it's
I
on
mean,
Netflix
like,
in Britain.
He did a bunch of music videos before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sexy Beast.
Sexy
also,
Beast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don Marco,
Exit Through
Yeah,
the Gift
I
Shop
really
is
wanna watch
Banksy's directorial debut.
John Gilman.
Roger and Me is really good
The Iron
by
Giant.
Michael Moore.
Oh yeah, Jean Dielman is her first feature, isn't it? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's just
I
short
didn't
films
know.
before that.
Hereditary.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a shit ton. There's some people that are just like they know what
Talented.
to do and they make sure that they know what they're doing before they even touch a feature.
What was Steve McQueen's?
Hunger.
Oh, Hunger.
That's an amazing
Hunger.
debut.
The Bobby
Yeah.
Sands one.
Eraserhead.
Wasn't Three Billboards a debut for someone, or
No,
No,
that,
that was his
that
first
director
film.
that was
did
in Bruges.
In
yeah,
Bruges
was
was his first
the
film.
one before
What do you
that.
think of Seven Psychopaths?
That's my favorite from him.
I love
That's
that
my
one.
unpopular, but that's my favorite from him.
Yo, hold the fuck up. Phoenix Wright is joining.
I don't know. I don't remember much about it. I think I tried watching it for whichever year it was a part of my list, and sometimes I make it through like 20 minutes of a movie before I decide to go into the next one just for time constraints. That was one that where like I could probably revisit it, but from memory, all I remember is just like, man, this movie thinks it's so cool, and I just wasn't
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's-
like the
that-
overwhelming tone of
Certain
just
bits.
like, we're so cool. This is a cool movie. And that's
Mhm.
just
It's the
Have you
type of
seen
film
The
that
Vast of
wants to
Night?
deconstruct film, but its way of deconstructing film is like, what if instead
turn
of
off
doing
these
this cliche, we did this cliche, literally in dialogue, saying, what if we did this cliche, this thing instead of this cliche, and then it does it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we are not doing the most cliched thing ever. We are smart.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen The Vast of Night, Adam? That's a fairly recent directorial
The
debut that's
Vast
been
of
getting a lot of
Night.
attention. That's on Amazon
that.
Prime.
Okay, I'll
I
look it
thought,
up.
Oh,
I thought it was
yeah.
okay.
it's a terrible title?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
Yes.
It is not on my watch list, but it
Oh,
is
yeah.
added right now.
I've seen this.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah, I just like, man, I want to like really catch up on the past 3 years of movies. 4 years
finally
even.
watched,
I haven't done my 2016 list yet. So like there's a crap
Let's
ton
be
I need to
talk.
watch from that year.
Yeah.
After my Lion King thing, I'll be doing that while I work on my Synecdoche, I guess.
Yeah, B, what did you watch?
Someone
Did
said
somebody
they watched
get
something.
interrupted?
I just watched This Film Is Not Yet Rated for the first time.
I always wanted to
Ah,
That's a good one.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Never seen.
Yeah.
I've not seen that.
I wonder if there's like I wonder how many it's like I wonder if anything's like changed since then. Like how like I know it's not great anymore. It's still not
Yeah.
great, but I wonder like anything's different about it. It's been like 15 years or something. Not much.
Someone said
Not enough.
Clerks is a good debut. I mean,
I was
Yeah.
bored.
it is. From what I've seen from Kevin Smith, it seems like it's where he peaked. Honestly,
Yeah.
No, Chasing Amy is actually really good.
is it?
Chasing Amy is really good also. Yeah.
Is it better than Clerks
It-
though?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
But it does have flaws. It talks about like sexuality in a very honest, interesting way, and
Okay.
it's funny and the characters are interesting. You should watch it.
It's on Criterion.
Chasing Amy? Oh,
Yeah.
It's
I'm
on
still-
Netflix. It's on Netflix in the USA.
Chasing Amy
Netflix is best with
Criterion?
VPN.
Yeah,
I
it
think,
is.
Yeah, it's
Since
weird.
when?
Is there any like what do you guys think are like the
Since-
worst Criterion movies?
Oh yeah,
is there,
there's
like,
Armageddon. Armageddon's
And
the
then
best.
Adam's,
Also Jellyfish
Criterion film.
Eyes
Wait, are we talking Criterion Collection or Channel?
collection, I think.
Collection.
Yeah.
Right?
Then, oh, that's
Yeah, I
cool.
guess
I mean,
collection.
Criterion Channel.
I wasn't aware the Criterion
Yeah.
channel had stuff that wasn't in the collection.
I didn't
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that
different
either.
rights.
It has a lot more.
It's
Okay,
different
weird.
rights.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the collection is there any like really
I
bad
definitely
stuff?
recommend you get it though.
Heart of a Dog or whatever it was called. What was it called?
Yeah, you said it was animal abuse. Why?
Huh?
Because she like literally she just like nonchalantly talks about how she abused her dog and just like completely
How?
unironically thinks it's cute or something. I don't even remember the specific
abuse the
context, but
dog?
there were just like I don't remember. She was definitely like just a crazy abusive person and just like narrating the documentary talking about the things she did as if like it was just normal and okay and just completely unironic about it, and it kind of just pissed me off. And it wasn't a good movie either way. It was like just really fucking pretentious and boring.
I thought
Chasing
Fish Eyes is
Amy-
like that one nobody likes and nobody knows what's on the
Chasing
collection.
Amy is
Apparently it's
spine
made by, like,
number
a bit-
75.
Wow.
Spy
On
number
IMDb?
Does that mean that they
75.
don't even have a Blu-ray of it though? Is it one of those like DVD
Let me
only?
see.
They never made a Blu-ray.
Oh,
Say
is it
it's a
Chasing
DVD
Yeah,
only.
yeah, I think it
Yeah,
is.
it's out of print, just DVD only.
Yeah, Phoenix right here is showing us. Thank you, Phoenix.
It's not bad.
I really hated the '60s Lord of the Flies. That's on Criterion.
What was that
Oh,
really
yeah,
weird
I saw that.
Digimon
for
ripoff
school.
movie?
Jellyfish Eyes, that's what I said.
Jellyfish Eyes.
right?
Yeah, that
Is that what
wasn't
it
a
is?
very good Criterion.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like it's like that one nobody watched and nobody likes. Apparently, it's like the directorial debut of some artist that
Yeah.
was famous beforehand.
Some random artist person decided to make a Digimon ripoff, and it got to Criterion like before it even really got released anywhere, pretty much. It was just like, okay.
Yeah, well, the people, Criterion is not like a faceless entity. It has people in it.
Yeah.
Probably somebody liked his previous work and just decided to give him a hand or something.
Yeah.
I really
Wonder if
didn't
they're
like.
still doing
I think Armageddon's probably the weirdest Criterion movie.
what?
RoboCop also.
Yeah. I don't know how
Blockbuster's
Armageddon
on
could
that.
have made it into the Criterion collection. It just doesn't seem like such a dumb action movie would be in the Criterion.
Did I get the Pi Blu-ray? I'm pretty sure
RoboCop
it
is
was
not a dumb action movie.
from the
It's
UK.
I really did not like Pan's Labyrinth, which I know is
What?
I know it's
What?
Oh, I really
You
want
don't
to
like
watch
it to the
Pan's
degree that
Labyrinth.
you're bringing it up in the worst Criterion movies discussion? That's how much you don't like it?
I mean, because Criterion has so many great stuff, you know. It's like-
Pan's Labyrinth
no,
is a great movie.
Yeah, but I'm
Pan's
sure
Labyrinth
that's
is
like
amazing.
I didn't
I
like
can't
it.
just get put in the category of
What a take on it.
Criterions you've seen.
Do
Actually,
you
not Pan's
prefer
Labyrinth.
other Guillermo
Nobody's
movies
seen
to it?
Well, I've only seen that in Shape of Water, and I really hated Shape of Water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Why?
fine.
Why?
I
Yeah,
actually
because
bought
I
Pan's
watched
it
Labyrinth.
is cheesy.
Hellboy, but I forgot about it.
I
Oh,
like
the Devil's
the-
Backbone. That's a good one.
I like the like surreal imagery and stuff in Pan's Labyrinth, and
we gotta be-
like some of the more horror aspects, but like the like war and like torture and stuff storyline didn't have me much, I guess.
Yeah, I
Spanish
ordered
conflict
it
or what's going on.
on Criterion not that long ago. I haven't watched it yet though.
Hmm.
I got it after the Blu-ray stream.
thought the deaths were really goofy.
I'm
Pan's
scared to
Labyrinth?
admit what my least favorite
Yeah,
Criterion
Pan's Labyrinth.
is.
The flashlight, that was amazing.
There was one part of that movie that I just remembered that really bothered me, and anyone who's seen it probably knows what I'm talking about. And maybe there's a reason that it happened the way it did, but it
What?
bothered me. In Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Is it like
My
super
lab-
spoilery?
I could
Do you wanna,
phrase
like,
it so
hint
it's
at
not
it?
like, yeah, just it's like why the girl did something she did.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, because she's a fucking child, and because it's supposed to be super tempting too, because like
Okay.
it's like a fable, right? And so
It
you
did
have
look
like
really
Right.
good, though.
it's literally a
Well, still-
fable story, and so it's operating by like these types of fable logics. Like that's part of like the thematic sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Is
That's
like
true. It just
Temptation
felt
as
like
a sim, almost.
yeah.
that's totally
It-
true. It just felt like kids are dumb, and I was like, well,
No, I think it's a
no,
bit more
that's the
fitting
moral.
than that. It didn't really seem like sure everybody in the audience is probably yelling at her in their heads, right?
mhm.
But at the
Right.
same time, like it seems like it could easily be plucked out of any sort of like morbid children's fable sort of thing, like don't do this. This is what happened to this sort of character because and blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah. You know, like that
Right,
it seems reasonable.
In that context, it works. But yeah, of course, anyone's gonna
I
be
feel like
yelling,
whenever
yelling
I-
at their screen.
I feel like whenever a character died in that movie, that like the cause would happen, but then they died like 50 seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like a delay reaction.
I really did like that scene too, by the way. The exact scene I'm talking about, I really liked it from every other perspective, except that I was like, the scene didn't need to happen. It could have been avoided pretty easily.
I feel like Guillermo does gore and pain really well. Like when something, it really looks like it hurts. Like when someone's injured and that, like the mouth and I won't spoil a lot of it, but it does look like.
The
Yeah, so
imagery
it's not
was
like
really
Starship Troopers then, where it's just so ridiculous and over the top that you
Oh,
can't take
yeah.
it seriously.
That's the point of Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And
I didn't really like that when I first saw it, but I might want to watch it again since it's on Netflix and stuff. Did you see it, Adam?
Starship Troopers, or which
Yeah.
movie?
Paul Verhoeven sci-fi satire.
Like Starship
It's a fun
Troopers.
movie.
You're talking about Starship Troopers? Yes, I've seen it. I've
Oh,
seen it a couple times,
yeah.
just a while ago.
It's fun.
Sorry, I'm just trying to
just a moment. I think
fix
this
this
screen's
window
not working
thing.
on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's not YouTube. It's I'm trying to fix it on OBS right now. I don't know why it's just not capturing the window. So just give me a second while I tinker with that. I mean, we can still keep talking.
Yeah,
I'm just-
I see chat, and also I guess I'm curious. Obviously, with no spoilers at all, if anyone's played it, what do you think of The Last of Us 2? If I can ask that in here.
Sure.
Yeah, just started that.
Just positive or negatives? Anyone so far? Like or dislike?
It's
About
good.
what?
It's good.
Really?
Good.
Okay.
No, you know what?
I
I can't say because I haven't played
I
it.
should paraphrase. It's not a bad movie. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Last of Us or the
No,
Pan's
I meant
Labyrinth?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
I still want to watch it though because it's on like Netflix and it's supposed to be really great.
Yeah, obviously.
Sister's favorite movie, and she wanted
And
me
I
to
just
see it.
bought it, so.
The Last of
Dear
Us
Zachary was fucking sad.
What'd you say?
Dear Zachary, that was like another thing that I
Oh,
bought.
yeah.
I watched
Holy shit.
My mom.
Nice, you watched
my
that.
my mom found that like years ago. I was like 14 at the time when my mom found Dear Zachary. She just decided to watch it, and it was just like one of the ones on It was just one of the ones on like the Prime Video, and she just threw it on, and she said, and then she made like everyone watch it after that.
Oh
god.
Yeah, I actually watched it with my mom.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal.
There we go.
Yeah, it's not sad, it's more infuriating.
It
Oh.
will piss you off.
I think
I
it's
would
just
call
as
it
sad as
sad.
it is infuriating.
It is just it makes you feel things.
It's both.
Zachary's like a horror movie.
Uh,
It's really sad and it's really fucked up.
Wow. Okay.
He's really fucked up.
I actually
So-
finally saw it.
The
His
Last
review
of
was
Us
just
got
ouch.
review bombed, huh?
Yeah, I didn't see his review yet.
It was just one word, I think. I think it was just the word ouch.
Ouch. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I had no idea it was so widely available on YouTube. Like I just having so
Zachary?
much trouble finding it, and it's,
What is-
it's
Do you have a
like everywhere on
VPN?
YouTube.
It seems like
If you
every
have a
documentary,
VPN, I have like a loophole.
like documentaries, are very often just uploaded to YouTube.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But no, yes.
There's this website
Even
called
like,
Tubi.
I watched the film is not yet rated on YouTube for free, and it wasn't even age restricted.
Yeah.
And yet it was like
Which is
initially
funny
rated
because
NC-17 when it got submitted to the MPAA.
My video featuring that movie got age restricted for showing a clip from that movie. So
Did you show any nudity or anything?
no, I didn't. I'm pretty sure I censored it. I mean, I'm positive
did.
if there was nudity, I censored it.
What
Or
movie?
sexual material.
This film is not yet rated.
This film is not yet rated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was weird because it was the PI is the one who uploaded it.
Do we know that, or is
Yeah,
it just somebody who changed their YouTube account name to the same
Oh,
name?
okay, I don't know. Maybe
Because
not.
you can your YouTube channel name can be anything.
Yeah,
Do we know
yeah,
that that's
fine.
actually the person? Because I'm not convinced.
We
of
have
it.
like a bunch of what is Seventh Portal? I'm checking their channel now. What's Seventh Portal?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Excuse me.
The Seventh Portal on Imdb. Stanley did something with it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's legitimate. But whatever. There's this website called Tubi, and if you have a VPN, you can sort of change countries so that you can watch films for free and without ads. But you know,
Tubi.
It's actually pretty
Yeah.
convenient.
Have you all heard about this stupid streaming competitor called like
HBO Max?
No, it's like a new one that like you can only watch in portrait mode, and they're all like
Quibi.
less than Quibi. Yeah, Amanda
Quibi,
covered it.
Yeah, I know
Amanda
what
the
you're talking
Jedi, and
about.
then somebody else covered it. I don't think I watched Amanda's
Amanda the
video.
Jedi.
some more news is a
I heard
great
of that.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, it seems
that
so
talks about it.
stupid. It's like so much money
Some
goes into
more
this thing
news.
that thinks
Wait,
it's
there's, like-
so clever because they're like, yeah, well, everybody watches things on their phone and nobody turns their phone sideways. So, and it's like,
It was,
Some more
and they have like
news
actual
is-
people too. Like they have that kid, the
They had
what's the
Spielberg.
kid?
yeah,
Like,
Spielberg announces Netflix, and then he goes for Quibi.
yeah.
I don't even.
Apparently, this
Get
Quibi
real.
thing was made by Katzenberg.
Yeah, it was.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's the deal. And he blamed coronavirus
Jeffrey?
for its failure, even though literally every other
Yeah,
streaming
Jeffrey
service
Katzenberg.
skyrocketed because of the coronavirus.
I'm looking it up
Oh,
now.
that's so funny.
Yeah, some
Oh,
more
man.
news. Great YouTube
First the
channel
Lion
about
King, and now this.
politics. Also made a video about Quibi. Great YouTube channel. Some more news. I'll
That's
link
great.
you.
Have you listened to the? Do you listen to the worst year ever?
No.
No, I've
What?
heard of it though.
Yeah. Well,
Podcast, right?
it's some more news guy has a podcast with another guy.
Really, what's it called?
It's called The Worst Year Ever. It's about the election mostly. Well, it kind of turned into a bunch of other shit, obviously.
Quibi just seems so stupid.
I've been out. I've been out helping with the. I've been doing like the water handouts and the food handouts at the protests in my city.
Mhm.
Um,
Man,
That's
I'm
been
just
really-
glad I never go outside. Not like there's
It's
anything
not-
serious happening in
Yeah, yeah.
Vancouver right now, but
It's
Yeah.
literally all over the world. I mean, I'm in Scotland, and there's riots everywhere and protests and stuff like that.
like
It just
actual
feels like-
riots in Scotland, not just
But,
protests.
yeah, and if you look up in St. George's Square, we've got a real anti-Semitic problem.
Mhm.
So we've got two sides. We've got Catholic and Protestant obvious differences and stuff like that. They're just using it as an excuse to go out and fight each other, basically up here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like France. How It's like how in France they'll use any excuse to riot.
Yeah, Roman
exactly,
Polanski
yeah.
wins some award. Let's riot.
The Caesar Awards are pretty important in France, though. They might not be
France
important
loves-
anywhere else, but
France
French people
loves
take the
riots.
Caesars very seriously.
I wish everybody was like
Don't really
France.
have riots.
Here in Israel, we've got a bunch of problems.
Mhm.
If everybody just did what they wanted to be done, if we had the riots like in America right now, it would be I would be going out to the streets helping.
Hop over the wall. You can riot with them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Whenever
no, both sides of the wall, both sides.
I just see like
I was just joking. Sorry. I was...
it's like there's people that go to these protests and are there peacefully and then still die. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah, or
concerning.
get gas.
Messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you do not. I've been OC. That guess sucks. Like one time, like I was just like across the street, like the cops and the protesters. They were pretty much so the cops were shooting like the little pepper balls, and there was like some people throwing rocks back at them. And then I was like on the complete opposite side of the street, and then they just turned over and then they threw the tear gas my way. And it was literally landed like right next to me, and I was like kind of tired, so I was like breathing heavy. So I breathed it like all in. I was like, I couldn't breathe. Like, and what happens is when you like do it like that, like when you're like really tired and you're like breathing heavy, like what it'll do is if you just get like a big thing, it'll like literally like collapse your lung. Like it's like if you get like if you like, it's like if you get like your wind knocked out of you, but for like 10 minutes straight.
That sucks.
That's what
Chemical warfare.
that's what I was
Wow.
and that was not
Man,
fun.
it's crazy that like all the cops really had to do right now was just like pretend for a couple weeks
Yeah.
that they're not
They
like
can't,
using
they
their
enjoy
power, and
beating
then they
people
just
up
like
too
they
much.
decided not to do that.
That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
they joined. They joined so they could let out their aggressions on random people. That's why they joined.
Yeah, I think
the
depending
They
on
don't
the
have
person.
any like
Who wants to
equality
be a
of
I
power.
don't- I don't
If
know.
you grew up in high school, if you went to high school here and you know the guy in your high school or the two dudes who became cops, you'll be fucking terrified.
I don't
They're all,
know.
like,
I don't think
I'm
I
not
don't think
kidding,
it's
like,
100%.
the-
But
the three guys I know who I know are cops now are like the worst possible choices to have ever become cops.
yeah, I mean,
They
like
don't look-
I don't think that every single police officer joins with like malicious intent.
Not
I,
everyone,
however,
but
do think that there is some truth in saying that like the idea of having that sort of like authority and control and power does attract the wrong type of person to the job. Like
Yeah,
that
oh, of
that's
course.
in the same
considering
way
there's
that like
no
celebrities, like
politics.
any sort of like media power, like producers, actors, musicians, like that attracts a lot of sociopaths too. Like there's a lot of industries where it's like not everybody in it is bad, but it does, you know, the things that come with it, the benefits to being in those jobs do attract like some really shitty people, like that's for sure.
Yeah, political.
But there is a difference,
That's what
right?
happens.
A cop can shoot you, and an actor can't.
Do you believe that they all support
They
the
can
sort of-
Weinstein you.
yeah.
It's different kind of thing.
believe that they
I
all
was not
Yeah, but
surprised. Was
Weinstein
anyone
is a-
here
is a
surprised
minority.
about the Ansel Elgort accusations?
what?
yeah. What?
I'm never
What
surprised
about
at accusations. I just
Oh yeah. No,
Wait,
I was not
sexual
surprised when I
assault?
heard about that. He just seems like
I don't know anything
about
about
it?
it. Like I'm just
Oh, you
I'm
don't?
I'm kind of like I'm not gonna post a tweet on it or anything until I don't know, like until I see what happens in court, I guess. I'm not saying like
Well,
for sure
most-
one
yeah,
way or
most
the
of it
other,
doesn't
like
make
don't
sense.
believe anybody. I'm just saying like I don't have the information at all. So
Wait,
because
what
like
happened?
I don't know,
there's like
you-
there's like actual screenshots between like with them having like a conversation.
no, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. I know that.
Yeah.
But like I just don't want to be somebody who jumps into something right away and then become embarrassed in like a Johnny Depp Amber Heard sort of revelation, you know? I don't know. I have no idea.
That happens.
Um,
That happens quite frequently.
I just
Exactly.
like
I was
trust but verify sort of thing, I guess.
Wait,
I
what do you-
watched
Yeah.
Public Enemies with Johnny Depp.
What? Awkward
That movie
enemies?
is horrible.
Yeah, I
What
forget who
happened
direct.
at-
Was that Michael Mann that directed that? I still haven't seen it.
Oh, Public
Oh, yeah,
Enemies.
that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember who directed it, but it was
Yeah,
horrible. Like
after-
he was like in that movie, he was like this super, like it was such a toxic relationship, and they showed it in like this is okay, like this is like I know, and then it was just the movie on its own was just horrible too. Like there was this one
Yeah, he
scene
did.
that I just laughed at the whole time, where like they were looking for Johnny Depp, and then they took away his girlfriend. And then he like runs out into the middle of the street, like deciding if he's gonna go after her. And he's like in the middle of the street with a gun, and there's supposed to be like 50 cops around looking specifically for him. And then he just decides not to and goes back in his car and drives away. Like he's literally in the middle of the street for like 2 minutes, just like looking around with a gun in his hand. It was the dumbest.
Michael Mann used to make some good movies.
Yeah,
and then
he
Miami
directed
Vice,
The
and then
Insider.
everything sucked.
Yeah.
Sorry, but what happened with Angela Elgort?
Yeah, he
There's-
was accused of
I heard
like sexually assaulting someone. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I have
Doesn't
no idea.
surprise me. He's kind of a weirdo.
They apparently messaged a girl that was 15 years old while he was 21. The
Mhm.
screenshots prove it apparently, but I'm not so sure if they look. They
I
look
thought she
kinda
said
fake.
she was 17. In the
What?
Twitter
There's
thing.
been more than one. There was definitely
Oh.
one that was 15.
Oh,
while he
then
was
now there's
21.
another one.
There was one called
That's more
Esther
due
something.
Yeah.
Maybe dumb question, but who is that?
Ansel
driver
Elgort is
guy.
the baby driver.
Yeah, he's the baby driver. He's the baby from Baby Driver.
More like
On our
He's
stars.
got like
He's
a
the Joker.
set of balls or something.
yeah, he made
whatever that
Baby
line
Driver
is.
and then nothing else that's worthwhile.
I thought he was good in Baby Driver.
Yeah, he was good in Baby Driver, but he wasn't
Yeah,
good in
he was
anything else as
appropriate
far as
for
I
it.
know.
If I know, he was pretty good in that.
I have a completely unrelated question. On your Hulk documentary, I was very surprised when he was jumping around and no one made the Samurai Jack reference of Jump Good. So just to ask, have you not seen Samurai Jack or just didn't come
I saw
out at the
bits of
time?
it when I was younger. I never watched the whole thing.
Me
But
too.
I enjoyed it while it was on. It wasn't really my I wasn't like drawn to it. I never like seeked it out. I was like, oh, this is nice, sort of thing.
It
And the
looks
funny
cool.
thing is, I remember like my teacher in the school showing it to the entire class when I was really young. And then when I went home and told my mom about it, she freaked out because she thought it was way too violent or something.
No, there's like a scene I remember earlier in the show. He cuts up robots and
Like guns.
therefore it was like a substitute for blood.
Non-violent.
And then there was a
So
scene
that-
where like robots were in like a restaurant or something and they were shooting everywhere. Something, and my mom really freaked out when she heard about that. Because I was
Yeah, that's
pretty young.
stupid.
then.
That was like Power Ranger moms. Like
We saw Life is Beautiful in school.
Oh.
I
I
remember.
mean, kids can
I wish-
watch it except for like sexual references. I guess if you're gonna show anybody a film about that subject matter,
So
if you're gonna show a kid a film about that subject matter, do that.
So Baby Driver
Yeah,
2
we
is
got the
supposed
bonus
to
type
happen,
pajamas.
right? There's supposed to be a
Last
second
Night
Baby
in
Driver,
Soho.
right?
By Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Toddler driver.
Wow.
Yeah. Not like Sicario 2 where they just switch everything. That's bad.
Yeah, like that was
yeah.
announced at least, right? I don't know if they started production.
Wasn't Kevin
Yeah, there's
Spacey in
also
that
Last
movie
Night in
too?
Soho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey
exactly.
crushed that one.
You could just have it like all new characters. You could just
Oh.
completely just rewrite it.
Yeah, I guess Jamie Foxx got like I mean obvious.
I think we need
Spoiler.
to see how much Last Night in Soho makes.
Fox
Yeah.
has allegations as well.
Next year.
Yeah.
They'll probably make good money though.
I think everybody in Hollywood has allegations.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah, John
everyone.
Hamm.
A baby
He's
walks
not-
on set, boom, allegation.
I think
They should just they should make Baby Driver 2 with John Hamm playing every character.
They
Yeah,
should
that
make
would
a
be
good
great.
Baby
I would
Driver, but
watch
it's
that.
super. It's baby geniuses. And It's
Yeah.
like a baby where there's like Photoshop lips.
Boss
I
Baby
remember
Girls
watching
was-
Baby Geniuses was one that I don't know why, but I remember watching a lot when I was a kid.
They could make
Same,
Baby Driver where they remake Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive, but with babies, and they talk like baby geniuses.
Perfect. It's funny.
Wait, so what are you gonna do with the elevator scene?
Yeah.
Just
You're gonna
you-
hit it with the
Computer generated
little
graphics.
They should
Yeah,
end it with
baby
Rattle.
geniuses. Did you not see the masterpiece?
The Ryan Gosling baby just never speaks or cries.
Thank you, Bruno.
He's the most serious.
He's a total mute the whole time.
Yeah, it'll be like only God forgives. He'll just be staring off into the distance the entire movie.
And nobody expresses emotion. Everybody's like a robot in disguise.
It's like he can do it. Like in The Nice Guys, he did great at like actually expressing emotion. But
Oh, he's a very good actor. I think.
yeah, but like
Who were you talking about?
movies though are always the ones where he has like no emotion.
I don't think
he's
Ryan
great.
Gosling's bad at all. I just
I
yeah,
think
like
he's
he
great.
does have like a character type that he plays sometimes.
He was good in
Sometimes.
Half
I
Nelson.
think he's great.
He's kind of like the stoner character, but
great in
I like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
I think
he was
he
great in
performs
La La
very well.
Land.
Yeah,
He's a
La La
different
Land.
character in
Fuck,
the
I gotta
Nice
see La
Guys.
La
He's kinda
Land
different in
again.
that one.
First
Same.
Man
Yeah.
as well. That's was swept right under the rug. First Man. That's like such a good film. I thought.
He was the
Yeah,
best part.
I have to watch it again. I just like
Same.
I don't know. I think I was the only person with this problem. I think the soundtrack could have been better. I was hoping for some better music.
Oh.
We gave it a 9 though.
Well, it's a
didn't
Damien
you?
Chazelle film. I
I
suppose.
think I gave it an 8.
What's he up to? Does he have a new movie in the works?
Maybe I'm just getting
He
confused.
does. He does. I hope.
He made like a episode for like a documentary show, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, let me check. Damien Chazelle.
I think I'm the only person who thinks that La La Land is better than Whiplash.
Ooh.
Yeah,
agree.
I don't know.
They're different.
Actually,
You know,
Yeah.
depends what
They're very
you relate to
Whiplash
more.
is more
The Eddie.
they
The
both have
Eddie
great endings.
directed episodes for The Eddie. I don't know what that is, but it's on Netflix.
I enjoy La La Land more, but they're both great.
Yeah, me too.
I think I don't know the emotions that I'm looking to get out of a film. Like I found Whiplash to be more like exhilarating and fun. I found it to be much more of like a just you know like a fun, engaging experience. Whereas La La Land, I also really love, but I have to be like in kind of a mood to watch it. You know, whereas like Whiplash, I could just put it on.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
The pacing in both is fantastic.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
both
yeah.
really great.
I think
Have
Do you ever watch
uh,
that video of like the choreographer talking about the opening scene in La La Land?
I
No.
don't actually
sweating.
I'm pretty sure I watched something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video of her like breaking it all down, and they said so like at the end, everyone had to be back at the same car they started in
Yeah.
when they closed their door. So everyone was like, if you like watch the end of the sequence, everyone's kind of like jumping around trying to get back to their car.
Did any of you see Grand Piano?
I did.
No, I didn't. But I want to see it.
What's that
Damien
about?
Chazelle wrote
It
it,
was fine.
and it's so campy and cheesy, but it's so much fun.
It's hilarious.
It's got
Is that
Elijah
the one
Wood.
with Tobey Maguire? Oh no, jeez.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood.
No, it's
Yeah.
Elijah
Okay.
Wood, different
Yeah.
man baby. It's a different man baby.
All right.
Yeah, the other one.
Has anybody
Elijah
seen?
And John
Midnight-
Cusack. I know the film.
Right?
What are you saying? Has
Has
anybody
anybody
seen?
seen The Midnight Gospel on Netflix, the animated
No.
show? It's really underrated.
No.
I just
No.
finished it today. Really? No, that's disappointing. It's from the same creator as Adventure Time, and I know that Adam, you
Pendleton.
stopped at like season 3, but I liked it the whole way through, and it's like this incredibly imaginative
check it
and
out.
creative show. It's only
Who-
8 episodes.
Who gives
It's
their
incredibly.
child?
It's like
Sorry, go for it. I'll say this after.
it's like there's nothing else like it. Even if like there's flaws, but there's absolutely nothing else like it. Only by the second episode did I like realize how it was made, and it's so fascinating and creative, and it feels so personal. And I don't want to even like say what the basic concept of the show is.
Sure. Yeah, I'll
because
check it
that's
out.
something I discovered on my own.
Just
Yeah,
look
it's
at
8
the art. You
episodes
can
it's on
tell.
Netflix. It's extremely underrated, but it requires like a lot of. It's very dense. Like there's a lot going on at any given time.
It looks really
I'm
trippy.
just
Like
like-
a Hodorowski film.
Looks really trippy.
Who
Yeah, it
who
is.
gives their child
Oh.
the first name Pendleton? Who does that? Pendleton,
Pendleton would-
first name.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pendleton.
In like middle
could be a
school or
pen name.
elementary school, I
I
met
don't know.
someone whose last name was their first name. I can't remember what it was. It's like
What? Chris Christopherson.
John
yeah.
John.
I
John
did know
Joe.
someone named John Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be, obviously.
It's far from the
There's-
worst named baby of the year, though.
Jackson.
Yeah.
You're a football player.
You want to know another movie that everybody loves and they're probably belittle me for not liking?
Yeah, whatever.
Go on.
Waves.
I've not seen it.
No, I love it.
Oh, I want to see that.
It's great.
I could understand
I
not
love
liking
Radiohead
that
in it, and I
one.
love Radiohead.
I really loved it, but I could understand not liking it.
I was severely disappointed. My friend who's like a diehard fan of the movie and Trey Edward Schultz as well. And I actually really liked It Comes at Night, so I was also very excited for it. But he loves the movie. He kept like pushing me to see it, and I finally saw it, and I was extremely disappointed.
Did you like Krisha?
I did not see it yet. I only saw It
Okay.
Comes at Night.
Krisha is more similar to It Comes at Night than it is to Waves. Not
Yeah.
in concept, but in presentation, I guess.
Mhm.
Tone. Soundtrack's
Would
very
you say
similar.
Waves? Would you say Waves is his best out of all? Of
Me?
them?
Oh
Yeah.
man, I think I rated all of them 8 out of 10. I'd have to do some more careful
You
because they're all
did, you
different
did.
movies.
I have a thing for numbers. I remember numbers that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I rated.
I
I
got
give them all the same rating, but I think
Wait,
Waves
wait,
out
I
of the
have a
3
question to
has the
ask.
most that because it's so different. There's so much that I love about Waves more than the other two films, but there's also things about it that I feel don't work as well as the other two films. So it's like more extreme highs and lows. But
Yeah.
I've only seen
when
it
I
once.
first saw Waves, I really liked it, but at the end, when it
Yeah,
was
no spoilers.
when it went to like his Tyler's girlfriend's boyfriend's abusive dad subplot, I felt that wasn't as natural as the rest of the movie, because the rest of the movie
Yeah.
is all about this one family, and then at the end it just sort of goes off in more of a tangent, and I wasn't really sure.
It's an atypical structure.
Yeah.
I understand like the point of it all, but it really just felt like it was trying to be like so many different movies put into one. Because I feel like something like Happiness, like they have like very different like subplots in it, like many subplots, but they all kind of intertwine with each other. In the end of the day.
I don't know. That's a different kind of structure, though. This one kind of reminded me of like Place Beyond the Pines in a way.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
much better than that one, but.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people have said that it's like A24's Magnolia.
Oh. I doubt
It's
it.
different.
I haven't seen Waves, but I doubt it.
Magnolia is so character driven.
Fuck, I need to see Magnolia again.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. It's such a good movie.
How about Boogie Nights? Have you
Love
seen
that.
that?
I still
No,
haven't.
he hasn't.
That's my favorite
I'm a
from
big
PTA.
fan of Adam. I remember small stuff like that. I can almost
Thank you.
answer for him. By the way, speaking of my autism, you said multiple times that you feel autistic, but you're not. What does that mean?
I'm. Sometimes I find it. Sometimes I often feel like I am misunderstood in how I communicate. I also often feel like I have very specific kind of like atypical skills and like what I notice and how I do things like play video games. Like I'm not like just my brain very clearly works differently than the average person's, whether for the better or the worse.
Because I am. So my mom mentioned that when I was watching a video.
Yeah.
I have a roommate who's on the spectrum, and sometimes it is really subtle things like that, like symptoms.
Apparently I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I should get tested again. Can you develop autism?
No.
No.
Usually, most people get diagnosed when they were like a kid.
Back the plans,
Like
are
I
you
got diagnosed when I
vaccinated?
was a kid.
What if I get a vaccine?
Yeah.
A vaccine for autism. Well, classic wise Chinese proverb.
Vaccine
A
for
vaccine
autism.
against autism will confuse the anti-vaxxers completely.
Oh yeah, that would be the best.
I watched listen to this podcast about these people who it's the bleach people, but they use it for it's insane. Like it's the podcast called Behind the Bastards is about like the worst people, and this one was about like these parents who would literally give their kids like they call it miracle mineral solutions, and it's literally just bleach.
Ugh.
It's like 1% bleach to like
Are they from Florida?
I don't remember. It was like a weird church thing too. I listened to it like earlier this month, but they literally were giving like their autistic kids like bleach enemas.
That's terrible.
Disgusting, man.
That's
That's
like
so
Florida.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
it's-
because of Florida's lack of comprehensive sex education, there are teenagers there that think that drinking bleach will, just a cat full of bleach before you have sex and you won't get pregnant. Some shit like that.
Oh man.
Like bleach and Mountain Dew.
That really makes me
The
cringe.
United States is like the Wild West of like Earth.
I mean, figuratively and literally, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
To be
Wasn't
fair,
Spring
Crazy,
Breaker
man.
set in Florida or something?
Yeah, because it's
What?
spring break, y'all. Forever.
Yeah.
Florida's where spring
That's a
break
good movie.
happens. There is no spring break anywhere else on the planet, apparently.
Waves was filmed in Florida.
can confirm.
There's a weird places like there's this place in Texas called Corpus Christi, and it's like the it's like the
There's
it's
a
like
movie
an
called
even
Corpus
grosser
Christi.
version of like
Yeah.
Did you see it?
And a
I
band,
don't think so.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of
Yeah.
popular. Something supposed to be sort of a faith-based movie, but on the other hand, it's actually supposed to have lots of graphic sex and violence and stuff, which sounds really interesting considering that
yeah.
most of these faith-based movies today are completely clean and stuff.
I saw this documentary that like I looked it up on Letterboxd and it had like it looked like a Christian, like one of those Christian weird documentaries that you like come across, but it literally had like a 4.5 on Letterboxd. So I might watch it at some point.
What's it called?
I can't remember.
Was it
on
the gay
Netflix.
conversion one?
No.
I've seen that one.
No. It was about like how Jesus I think it was still like a Christian movie, but I feel like it was like taking like a new approach or something like that. I can't remember the name.
Assassin 33 AD.
AD.
I watched the Zeitgeist movie.
Oh yeah.
Which is the documentary
I
on
fucking love
conspiracy
that.
theories.
It's
It's
Yeah.
so crazy. You're just
It's a
like the part
classic.
that's got, I know it's in 3 parts, and the first part is really good about religion. I think. I thought the
Yeah, that one I dig that section for
first
sure.
part of religion was great, and then when it goes to 9/11
just
and things
that
like
first
that, it
section
doesn't
was
go.
great, and then
Yeah.
it just goes
Yeah,
off
the
the
religious
fucking
section is
deep
really
end.
good.
Yeah, it's
It
so
was
weird. You
like-
kind of have to take things with a grain of salt, obviously, but it's still a fun conspiracy movie. Like it's
Yeah.
fun,
Gets you
and
pumped.
it's also very
What's the
nostalgic
name?
for me because like that's like early internet shit. That like those types of things just like ran rampant on the internet because it was all just like self-published documentary movies where there's like literally no like checks or balances or anything. Like it's not like it had a theatrical release. It might have, but it's literally just a self-published thing that posted on their website or YouTube or whatever. Like that and Loose
I
Change
suppose it's
and
a lot
stuff.
like Dear Zachary in that sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
Dear Zachary was actually at film festivals.
Oh, was it? Oh, I
It
didn't know.
premiered at the
really?
Edmonton International Film Festival. Probably the
Edmonton.
only good movie in existence to premiere at that film festival.
And who wants to go?
Never even heard of that place.
It seems like
It's my
I
hometown.
didn't even know they had a film festival.
Oh yeah, I went to it before. I watched Frozen 2010 at that film festival.
Oh,
Ski lift
nice.
movie. Yeah.
Have you ever? There's I watched a movie called Frozen Ground with Nicolas Cage and Vanessa Hudgens.
Let me guess, it was a
You've
10
set
out of
it
10
up.
masterpiece.
I'm watching it.
I forget
It
who
was,
directed that.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny.
I wanted
The
to watch
Frozen
this
Ground.
crazy Nicolas Cage movie. I
Scott
would watch
Walker.
Mandy.
Yeah,
Still haven't seen
Mandy
John
is
Cusack.
good, but pacing issues.
Yeah, so I haven't seen
I
it.
wish it was
Did you
more
ever see that clip of
focused.
There's like this video of Nicolas Cage talking to the Sadfi
Sadfi brothers.
Safdie.
Safdie. Thank you.
Safdie, yeah. It was Nicolas Cage talking to him. It was like I don't know if it was at a film festival or a reward show, but he was Nicolas Cage like went out to them and was like, we should do something.
They should. I would love to see that.
That would be so good.
Nick Cage in a Safdie movie? Fuck yeah.
That would be epic.
That'd be dope.
By the way,
So has anybody here seen like the Twilight movies or what?
Yeah.
No, why would we?
I watched them like 10 my sister watched
Do you think they'd be good for like a
them.
commentary? I've been like kind of I've never seen any of them, but I'm like kind of debating it for that
I doubt
purpose.
it. It's a whole series. It's a whole
I know,
series.
but like at least the first one. Is it like funny? Seems kind
The
of
first
funny.
one, maybe. Apparently, you
Watch it
should
and then
ask Amanda the Jedi. She seems to be like
Yeah,
the
probably. I
biggest
guess. Yeah,
I
she's
feel like
seen all of
along
them.
the lines of like the room and Kate in like the room and like in the sense that like a lot of people have already done it. You know what I mean?
I saw a riff track
Kind of. You know, the Twilight came out.
Faded.
The popularity of Twilight was a bit before the whole internet reviewer crowd sort of thing. Now there are people coming back to like revisit it, like Amanda the Jedi and some other people, the Twilight movies. But I don't think that it you know, although it was like popular to hate, we didn't really see a lot of like reviews on it. Like we didn't see a lot of like takedowns or like I'm sure some people have done commentaries on it, but I don't know. I've never seen it, so.
It would be funny. It's pretty funny and cringy.
Okay.
There's a lot that you can take down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would probably be something.
There's
I don't
one
know.
movie I would recommend everyone watch. It's one of my favorite movies. It was like a smaller one from a few years ago. It's called Short Term 12.
Oh,
Miles Teller.
Brie Larson.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. I've read
Brie
that.
Larson.
But
No, I don't
thought it
care.
was
I don't
amazing.
know.
thought
I
it was,
don't
like,
care
one-
about
I-
Marvel, so I
It
don't
was
care about Brie.
great in the same way that like Heaven Knows What is great, or if you think it's great, it was good in the same way that Heaven Knows What is good. If you like been in that kind of situation, like
Okay.
it is so real to that.
Yeah, I watched it. I gave it a
He-
6. I didn't
Yeah.
review it or anything.
I thought it was great. Like I said, it's like the same. Like if you know that kind of like like that kind of place. Like
Mhm.
apparently, the director worked in like a group home,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah,
it was
I
like-
got what it was going for. I didn't like it wasn't like huge on me or anything, but
yeah,
other
I feel
people
like
seem
if
to
you-
really
if
enjoy
it-
it a lot.
yeah, I really liked it.
Solid film.
Yeah.
I just want to watch more movies and catch up.
One
So
film that I've
do
seen,
it.
I watched Three Identical Strangers
Mhm.
today,
Oh yeah.
and I thought that was so. It's just, I really liked it, but I feel like there's a certain editing style that goes on in the documentaries where the audio was all chopped up to make them sound like they're saying something that they might not be saying,
Oh yeah.
and that really takes me out of it and it really bothers me. So,
Hmm.
and it's everywhere in Three Identical Strangers. And I feel
Yeah.
like
Sometimes you just have to have like faith in the filmmakers in that sense because a lot of times things are chopped up not to change what they're saying, but to, you know, present it in a more succinct way or to like cut time down, or if you know, there's plenty of reasons why you can do that without changing what they're saying. So, unless there's like a good reason to believe that they mischaracterized what they were actually saying, I think it's fine.
Yeah, part of me has been wanting to watch Three Identical Strangers, I guess, but it's always been sort of pushed back to
It's
the
good.
back of my mind and stuff.
that's pretty good.
Wasn't
I enjoyed
really
it.
sure.
It might be on my list of
My
2018.
dad was. My
Is
dad
that
was.
the-
I remember
I
my
saw it with
dad.
my
Like me and my
grandpa.
dad watched it together, and he was like fuming at the end of the movie. I don't like. He was just so pissed.
You didn't
Yeah,
like
so
it?
was everybody.
No, he liked it. Like he
Natural
liked
reaction.
the movie. It was just like what happened in the movie just pissed him off so much.
Ah,
Like I don't want to get into spoilers, but
Yeah.
yeah, don't. I
I
haven't
saw the
seen
two
it.
Creep
Oh, no,
movies
that's-
recently. The two Creep movies by
Oh God.
Duplass.
Aren't there 3? Didn't you
Yeah.
not make a third one?
It's in production, I
Okay,
guess.
so it's happening.
Like what I know. Creep 1 was worse than 2, but Creep 1
Is it?
even like when you get to the end, you kind of understand what it's going for, but like the end is the only really
I hate
redeeming
it so much.
part of it.
I
Yeah,
like
I
that.
know.
Creep
That's why I
was
watched
really
it, because I
lame.
was curious. It wasn't really
I
that
watched that
bad.
so much.
It's like, why do you hate it so much? That's what
It's
interests
so
me.
annoying. It doesn't offer anything.
Yeah, it is annoying.
It doesn't
It is.
offer
The
every
jump scares are
single
stupid.
every single fucking scare is literally just Mark Duplass saying boo at the
Yeah, I know.
camera. It's so
Yeah, but it's like
it's so lazy.
And a freaking
so
if you get to the end and then
lazy.
you watch Creep 2, you kind
Yeah,
of
that poster looks
understand.
really lame.
It wasn't
Yeah, you-
intriguing. The character wasn't interesting. It wasn't funny. It wasn't scary. It was just fucking lazy and cringe. The whole movie was
loved it when I was
cringe.
12.
Oh my
Yeah, he
god.
rubbed his ass
I
on the
watched
door.
this
At one
so
point.
many times when I was
It
young.
weird.
It's just, I hate it
Dude
so
in a wolf
much.
mask, rubbing his
That
ass
is
on the
so
door.
shit.
Yeah, I don't like Creep 1. Creep 2 is like gonna. If you watch both of them, you kind of understand what the first one was going for. But a movie shouldn't need supplementary material to be enjoyed.
I
Creep
didn't.
2
Correct.
is-
I liked 2 less.
Creep 2. If you want, just don't watch
2 is
Creep
better.
1. Watch Creep 2. But neither of them are like great. It's sort of about this guy who wants to be in his own slasher film, I guess. That's how I would describe it. But it's not like it's not really even a part of the first one. It's more the second one, and neither of them are like great. But it was interesting just to see them, I guess.
I don't know.
I dislike the
interesting.
second. I dislike the second one more, but I hear that people liked it better. I don't know. For the
It was-
first one, like all the scares were stupid, but it kind of worked for his character for me because like he was a pathetic
Yeah.
guy. It was
I
like,
just-
No.
you
That's
think
not.
I couldn't
the
get anything
point.
out of
Without
it.
spoiling anything, he's like, if you watch Creep 2, it's the same character. Mark Ruffalo's character returns and he does it again, but
yeah, basically.
he does it again. But
Did you
this
say
time
Michael
the main character is
Douglas?
not Michael Duplass. That's Duplass,
It's Mark
whatever.
Duplass.
Yeah, Mark Duplass, but the main character in
Yeah.
that film is not phased by it, and that sort of shows what he's trying. He's trying to scare the main character in the first film. That's
That's
basically
the guy who got a lot of shit
deal.
for supporting Ben Shapiro.
It's a weird movie because
Yeah,
only when you
yeah.
get to the end do you actually start to appreciate literally any element of
What happened with Mark
anything
Duplass
that's
and Ben
going for it.
Shapiro?
He got a lot of shit on
What?
Twitter because he supported Ben Shapiro.
What do you mean by supported?
Like he said,
just-
like he tweeted, like, "Oh, hey, I don't agree with all the things he says, but I think everybody should check out Ben Shapiro."
Oh, really? Interesting.
Something like he was.
Yeah,
open
he
for
went on
discoveries.
Dave Rubin's show once upon a time. No, wait, it wasn't Dave Rubin. It was. Did he go on Dave Rubin? He went on Steven Crowder's show. I remember.
Who, Ben Shapiro?
Mark
Yeah.
Duplass. But
Yeah.
he wasn't there to agree with everything he said. Like they had like kind of they had a pretty civil argument. It was a pretty civil disagreement and debate. And at that point I actually had a bit more respect for Mark Duplass because of that, you know. To actually like
he's like an
engage.
honest guy.
Has everyone here seen the Ben Shapiro Imagine video?
Oh, it's so
No.
funny.
It's my favorite video.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
it, but I know he called it pretentious. The pretentious piano chords.
It's like
Yeah.
Was it satire?
It's like overplaying. Like he has it like set. Like he has like the audio mixing is horrible too because he's like so quiet and the song is like so fucking loud. He just, it's just overwhelming everything he says.
Dude, probably have to put on subtitles or something.
I hate.
I
him.
gotta go. I'll see you next month.
Bye.
Thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
He's such a little bitch.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro is not who I would go to for any kind of like substantive discussion on art.
Because
Oh yeah, rap music
his
is.
favorite line to my dad was like a musical whatever, and like that makes me a genius.
Yeah.
And I
How
can
about,
play
like,
the violin, so.
How about Hunter Avalon? He's this other sort of conservative guy on YouTube, but
I have
now
no
he's
idea who that
more
is.
in the middle.
I've never heard of him.
I don't know.
I
I know
search
what you're
Hunter
talking
and he shows up.
I heard
that
Hunter Avalon, I don't know.
I gotta bring him up.
I searched him up, and the top resort
Oh, I do know
results
who
are
that
people
is.
trashing him.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
that name in like a couple of years.
I haven't heard that name before anywhere.
He can be kind of funny, but you know, I think he kind of just sticks to the same kind of shtick that a lot of conservative commentator, like libertarian commentary channels, kind of do, which is they just make fun of SJWs and stuff. Which, like, you know, you can make fun of them. Yeah, it's stuff to make fun of, but like, you know, everyone knows that's dumb at this point.
Yeah, it was like something you could do in 2015, but now it's like nobody really gives a shit anymore.
It's
a
tired
Again, he is more in the middle now, I guess. You know, because he's realized that he does agree with like the liberals on some things. I forgot what they were.
Well, it's like how it's like how like a lot of those like atheist channels like took like this weird hard right turn too. Like I remember I was watching
Some
like,
of
the
them.
old video, like I was watching like the M. Night Shyamalan video, and you have like the
Yeah.
Amazing Atheist in there, and he just fucking went nutso.
He's gone a few different directions now. From what I can tell, he's like more left leaning. He was on
Amazing Atheist?
Vash's thing. They had like a hour-long discussion or whatever.
That name, I don't know who that person is.
And yeah, he's pretty far to the left.
Yeah.
Vash is like super hard.
Have you
I
heard
don't
of
like Vash all the time. I feel like he tries to like appeal to like all the right wingers too much by just being like so.
Really?
Like
No, I like that about him because like I think it's important to take back these things like Pepe or like saying based, you know, because like the more that like left leaning people avoid those types of things because they're like, no, I can't say any of these words or use these memes because right-leaning people use that, then you're just giving it to them and then they win, right? You gotta be comfortable and you gotta own it.
Like I feel like that's fair. I just feel like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like more like the appealing to them.
How
like,
so?
Part of it, like
he's
I just
always
feel like,
trashing the right.
What was that?
I like watch a lot of his modern shit. He's always trashing the right.
Yeah,
they
I
do that.
don't know if I would say that Vash appeals to right-leaning people.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
What have you seen from him that he's done that?
Well,
with?
not like I feel like I agree that like taking it back is good, but I feel like just like going like so hard edgy sometimes just
Like
kind
what?
of like it gets.
I thought we were still talking about TJ.
No.
Like there was like an old video where he was just like, where was it? Like he was just like, I can't.
I don't know.
He just like he like said the N word to like trigger the right wingers, so, like just to like back them off. It was weird.
Yeah. I mean, he's
like
addressed it at
That's
this point
terrible.
in like one of
Yeah, it
the
was just weird.
recent videos.
God. I
But-
know, like there's so many. Like I can't keep up with all the like the 2-hour long videos.
Yeah.
Did anybody join in the Poor People's Campaign live stream today?
I have no idea what that is.
I've met them. I've
Oh,
met the
it's
one
just-
in Denver at least.
Whatever. It was fine.
Adam, have you ever heard of Girl Defined?
Girl Defined?
Defined?
The channel.
Oh yeah, it's like these
It's the
weird
worst thing
conservative
ever.
girls on YouTube that they're like these pretty
Never
blonde
heard of
girls.
them.
It's the
Who
funniest.
like say, oh, you need to get married or blah 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 blah. Like weird conservative white girls that try to be
Interesting.
pretty
Like,
kids.
They're really funny.
There's some funny
Cody Ko made a very funny video on them.
Yeah, that's how I know about him.
Okay.
Yeah, the
I learned about them
political.
from Fringe Eons.
They give terrible advice. And
No.
I think the political person on YouTube that I think the political person on YouTube that probably annoys me the most is Caitlyn Bennett.
Oh
Is
yeah.
she the blonde one?
Yeah,
always
Caitlyn
the
Bennett
one
just
like-
I have gone.
Yeah.
Did that photo of her like holding a machine gun.
Oh,
and she
she's
follows-
hilarious. She's so funny.
She's
Okay,
comically
she
bad.
said that-
Like it's awful.
I follow her on Twitter for the same reason that I follow Jesse Lee Peterson. because it's so funny.
Do you follow the Liberty Hangout too?
It just
I don't
stinks of
remember. I don't know
insecurity.
what that is. Liberty Hangout.
Liberty Hangout. That's her like other
Liberty
Twitter,
Hangout,
and she
yeah.
says like the most insane stuff on there. Like she says that that Trump should declare a monarchy.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw some
Twitter
weird
that she
stuff
kind of like
that,
hides behind
that
to
it
like
said
get less
that
about
like
her. But
and she said that women shouldn't be able to vote because
Yeah,
they
they're
only
trying to
vote
repeal the 19th
based on emotion, and they're only going to vote for the left.
oh yeah, Donald Trump should declare himself a monarch.
Clearly. If
Not
you scroll
trolling,
through Liberty Hangout, you will see that a few times of like her just like oozing over monarchies. It's like super weird.
And yet she's for liberty.
a character.
What? Yeah, and like her and like the post and like it's like in the and her like
Yeah,
profile picture,
Holocaust
like, a
denial
libertarian, like black and yellow too. So
So Distractify.com says, "Did Caitlyn Bennett poop her pants? Rumors are swirling."
That's a weird one. I don't know if I agree with that very much. Like, if she did something stupid at a party, I don't think... Like, yeah, it's, somebody with deplorable ideas, you can meme on them or whatever, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of just having these, like, gotcha cards that you can pull out without actually, like, addressing an
I think
argument.
it's funny. Like when like
It's like, yeah, it's
they're
kind of funny. I don't know.
I think it was funny when like she when like she went to like a campus one time, and everyone just started chanting like something about it was like they started chanting like something about pooping her pants, and there was like it was really funny. Like
oh god,
like there was like 500 people, and they were all like chanting about her pooping her pants.
She didn't just like
oh my god, that's
like that's
fucking
amazing. That's
hilarious.
just hilarious. Like I don't think it's like gotcha cards. I think it's just memeing. Like the subreddit toilet paper USA.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I really like it. Dear liberals, something Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez and feed pics.
Okay, I'm gonna check out that subreddit. Let's see what that is.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people making fun of Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of conservatives, like, they pretend to be smart, but literally anybody who isn't a part of their ideology is, as an outsider looking in, thinks they're crazy.
Yeah.
Like I know
There's
the name
liberals
Liberty
that do the
Hangout
same
from-
thing too. Not to equate
Yeah.
saying that it's the
Of
exact
course.
same like ideology or that one's not like better or worse or whatever, but it's so yeah, I don't know. I think everybody's a fucking
The
idiot.
hearts on both sides.
I think everybody's
Yeah,
dumb.
everybody. Yeah, idiots are on all
Everyone
sides.
dumb.
But like this specific
Yeah.
type
I just hate
is.
that I just hate that a lot of Republicans' arguments is just bashing Democrats, yet they don't just say like why.
Yeah, Republicans
That-
and Democrats
that's-
are just the same.
That's why everything's
the
so
same.
like partisan and stupid in America. It's because like all you need to do is find some idiot within the 400 million people that have the political views that you're arguing against and be like, yeah, well, they're dumb. And then everybody
find
does
the-
it, and somehow that's an
Okay,
argument.
yeah.
The end.
They will
Yeah, that's
find
why I
the
stay out of
smallest thing
politics. It's
forever.
so dumb. I hate it.
Like,
Like
on
they
Twitter.
keep saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Joe Biden has dementia," but like there's posts that show that Trump has similar like symptoms.
They're both crazy.
Like, who
I
cares?
said they're the same party.
I still think I finally like agree with a lot of liberals though. That I think it's like with everything that's happening right now, like I feel like it's gonna be more. Like I like at the beginning of the year, I thought it was gonna be a fucking coin flip, like who was gonna win. But I feel like at this point, with like all the shit happening,
Yeah,
no
if
one
Joe
really
Biden
wants
just
to-
hides more,
yeah,
if he just
yeah,
stays
just
away
yeah.
from the camera, then
And
I
lets
think he can
Trump
win.
self-destruct.
yeah. He
I-
can easily he can
And then he
sweep.
dies, and then Hillary,
Yeah.
and then somebody else takes the seat.
Oh man,
yeah,
I
like
said that. Didn't I?
I
Oh, Hillary.
I want so
No.
bad for Hillary VP just because it would be the funniest thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like, it would
I
be
think they're
the
going with
best
Kamala,
meme.
probably.
Like she's
take
back
it
with a
probably be Kamala.
vengeance.
Just because they
Actually,
say women of color. Let's not care about women of color that aren't rich. Just these women of color.
Yeah, I have
I
no
think
idea.
it's Gabbard.
They're like
Do you
the
think it's
Democratic
gonna be
Party
Kamala?
favorite.
They're
So,
gonna do
Matt,
Kamala.
I'll go with
That was
that
a
one.
bad choice in my opinion, but I don't care
Honestly.
that much. I don't care about the VP anymore.
Although
Like,
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah. And I just
Don't
want
be
my dream is just the United States government just disappears and then
yeah.
people just rebel it together. But I know that can't happen.
As much as
I
I
want-
don't
I
want
just want.
Yeah,
I just want
it's a
out.
reset button.
I just want out of this government. Of this.
Yeah.
I just want to get out of this country personally.
Why don't they just have no president, just like the Oscars have no host?
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. That's like an actual radical idea. Like, I just don't think there's. I think like these strongman leaders are just these dumb ideas that we came up with a long time ago. I think I feel like I think presidents are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, people elect them, so.
I mean, as much as I don't want this to happen, I do think Trump has a pretty good chance. But
It wouldn't be surprising for a second-term Trump. It also wouldn't be surprising for a Biden. So,
you
never know.
like I said, I
That's
feel like
happening
a
this
lot of
year,
them,
isn't it? Holy shit! I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so much fun.
What is-
I love watching American elections because it's like a wrestling match. It's like the stupidest reality show ever.
Yeah.
I like
Biden's
watching
gonna
people
win.
lose their shit.
Especially
Anyone-
the debates.
Yeah.
There might not be a debate this
Biden
year.
gonna-
Biden might just hide the entire time. He might just literally never show his face for a
COVID-19.
debate.
That's going to be a really big problem. The
Who's
debates
to say?
themselves, those are going to be, if they do actually hold debates, and I think Biden's screwed. Because I think, because he doesn't have the same kind of, because what Trump
Charisma?
has is, Trump has charisma, and he has, the wit to, make people laugh.
I think
at,
people
what
are
he
getting
has to
sick of
say.
it, though. I think
I
people
do-
are,
I
seeing
think
through the
so, too.
veneer.
I mean,
I think it was,
Biden.
kind of fun at first, and now people just hate him.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Biden has the
I don't
advantage.
know,
of,
maybe
like,
election
he's got
Trump
that
is different than
endorsement.
President Trump.
yes, he is.
Like,
because he
they're
never
both
stops
incredibly unlikable.
Yeah, Trump
I think
keeps
the thing with
saying more
Trump
and
is
more
that-
dumb stuff. He keeps digging himself even further. And after the George Floyd thing happened, and then the unemployment rate zooms up, Trump was like, "Good, it's probably a great day for George Floyd. Probably looking down for
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
It's really
It's
badly
so-
timed."
It's so funny.
It was when the shit-
I spent a lot of time on political Twitter, and I will even now I'm seeing a lot of the dudes with
Yeah.
American flags and whatever as their profile picture. Not most of them are still heart doing the weird defense stuff, but a lot of I've seen a decent amount of them actually go against the cops and
Black Lives Matter is currently winning the culture war.
Yeah. It was that. Did you see that that poll where it was where people asked if you it was if you feel if the protests are justified, and it was 80%, and then they asked if they felt that burning down the precinct, the third precinct, was justified, and it was 52% agreed. And this was nationwide. That is insane.
Yeah.
Burning down a police station
Yeah,
has a
that's
higher
not
approval rating than both
It's
of the
about time
candidates.
people start protesting because voting clearly doesn't work.
I mean, it's about time
Just
in the
everybody's
grand
the same.
scheme of things. I don't know if it's the right time given that there's a pandemic, but
Yeah.
I mean, it had to burst at some point, I guess. Everybody's fucking pissed off.
I feel like we were on the verge of just
Spend a lot of my
irreversible
time-
change.
So much tension from lockdown, I think, and then
If you
everyone.
want
Yeah.
anxiety, you should listen to a podcast called "It Could Happen Here."
I don't have
I'll
time for
Google that
podcasts.
right now.
It's
I'll
about
Google
the
that.
Second
That's
American
called
Civil
the
War.
research.
Well, I have time for you.
It was made 2 years ago, and it's kind of interesting seeing what's happening now.
Yeah.
Over in. sorry
This is
to
a guy
interrupt.
the guy who made it is a guy who spent a lot of time in Syria
Oh yeah.
and
Spend a lot of time on political TikTok because it's hilarious and stupid.
The idea of political TikTok is just fucking
so funny.
cringe.
There's this
so
one
funny.
dude that everyone makes fun of. It's a
TikTok is
conservative
bad,
dude.
though.
I can't think of his name.
Fuentes?
But everyone he's really cringe, and he's this super attractive white boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes I can't think of his
Donald
name.
Trump.
No.
David Dunn.
It's a TikTok. I think
Are you
his name's,
talking about
Nick
Fuentes?
something. No. They love him. The conservative TikTok boy. Like, it's interesting being on like political TikTok because you kind of like get an idea of what like.
I will never install
generally-
TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah, TikTok looks really bad. I can't believe how it's popular because most of it's just really stupid memes, just so cringe.
Are you really surprised?
TikTok's
I like
awful.
watching it. I like watching it just to make fun of it because it
You'd
is.
think-
Yeah. All right. That's
You'd think
fair.
conservatives wouldn't want to be on TikTok since it's owned by China, and it's like supposedly like even a massive security risk according to some.
Yeah, no one cares. No, everyone. It's just concern trolling.
I don't think they thought about it that much.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
it's mostly kids still. Like it's mostly still like even on political
Hang on, I
TikTok,
just
it's a
wanna
bunch of
know if
like
you hear me.
15 to 17-year-olds like
Yeah.
arguing with each
Add
other.
to the list of reasons why I will never install TikTok.
I just want to know if you can hear me.
Being on
I can hear
TikTok
you.
is like
good.
Being on TikTok is like watching a Sean Baker movie just to see all the trash.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. I really
Let's
want to
try
watch
Baker
the
at
Florida
least.
Project.
You can
Install the
accidentally
project.
wind up on a list just by installing TikTok.
Should be his next project.
John Baker, the trash king.
Yeah.
Yeah, no projects in the works right now. Okay.
Well, actually, on his letterbox, he said he was on post production, not
Oh.
pre-production.
Oh, really? Man, I want to make an iPhone movie.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
The Charlie Kaufman, the Netflix movie. What is that, and why is everyone like think it's gonna be bad?
No, it's not the Netflix one that's gonna. He has two things that he's working on.
Okay.
The
Chaos
Netflix
Walking.
one is I'm thinking of Ending Things, which is an adaptation of a novel by some Canadian writer that I haven't read, but apparently Charlie Kaufman liked it enough that he wanted to do an adaptation. That's the one that's probably going to be really good. The one that's going to be a piece of shit is Chaos Walking, directed by Doug Liman of Edge of Tomorrow, and it stars Tom Holland and
Wait, he
Daisy
directed
Ridley.
that?
No, Charlie
Wait,
Kaufman
it's the same
wrote.
director.
I've seen this.
Wait,
Yeah.
it's the same
Doesn't he have a book
director
coming?
as the.
Edge of Tomorrow director, Chaos Walking, and Charlie Kaufman. This is directly after the financial disappointment of Anomalisa, which you can see like Charlie Kaufman was in interviews on different publications saying like, yeah, I made Anomalisa hoping that it would be a hit and like maybe get me more to be able to fund my passion projects, and that just didn't happen. And then directly after he does a writing job for Chaos Walking. So this is very clearly his paycheck job, where he's
he also
adapting
did script consulting work for Kung Fu Panda 2.
Yeah. So there's like 8 writing credits on Chaos Walking. So whatever Charlie Kaufman wrote is probably not going to be what the actual film is. So there's like a novel, Charlie Kaufman adapted it, and then there's like 7 other screenplay credits. So it's and so that alone is a big like maybe like this is probably not going to be good. But what's a surefire way of telling is that this movie was supposed to come out like 2 years ago. This movie was supposed to come out like 2 years ago. It's been finished for a long time, and the studio just doesn't know what to do with it. And they were going to dump it in January, and then they decided to postpone it by another year. So now they're dumping it in January 2021. Like, and the description. I've said this before, but it's so funny. It sounds like it's going to be hilarious. Here's the IMDb plot synopsis. A dystopian world where there are no women and all living creatures can hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words, and sounds called noise. That's the concept.
It's called noise.
Yeah. And like apparently it's just so shit that the studio doesn't even know how to like release it.
So I'm
Which,
for
like,
the
I'm
movie, just
hyped for that.
Stream
Nick
of
Jonas starring.
words, images, and thoughts.
It's exactly like Artemis Fowl. Disney realized it was going to be crap, so they just dumped it on Disney.
Yeah,
Plus
like
instead of
Chaos
delaying
Walking
it
should
like
be
normal.
digital right now. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah,
just release it
that would
digitally.
make sense.
Yeah.
Just hype the
with
fuck
all
out
of the
Tom
people
Holland,
piling on top of it, I'm sure Artemis Fowl made its money back.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it
Do
says
they
principal
make?
photography took
Did
place
people
on the
sign
7th
up
of
for
August
Disney Plus to watch
2017.
Artemis Fowl? Is the question. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot signed up to watch that Star Wars thing, The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm probably not pronouncing that right.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's like so interesting with like the like when that started happening, like that like Netflix started making like their own productions. Like how do they make like it seems just like so much money being dumped into it.
Oh yeah, because they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
They have the capital to do this.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people with
They
Netflix.
can buy Ezreal.
I'm pretty sure
like
Netflix is the most popular streaming platform by far. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they picked up the rights to like Uncut Gems internationally. I'm pretty sure. And it's on Netflix sooner.
Here in
because of
Israel,
that.
if you look up Uncut Gems, it has like the little N logo in the corner, which
Yeah.
means it's owned by Netflix.
It was
I
on
really want
Netflix.
when I always see that, I just like I don't understand. Like I just like I always see that. It's like wait, like how does this work? Like when I see like Uncut Gems and it has like the Netflix logo on it, like I just don't get it sometimes.
Distribution, licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Certainly was.
I was wondering, besides The Holy Mountain, what are some other films that you love that don't really follow a usual narrative structure?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's
Yeah, Eternal Sunshine.
I mean, like, there's a bunch that are atypical structure. I don't know to the degree of The Holy Mountain, though. Because The Holy Mountain is, like, there's barely a, like, I mean, the plot is interpretable, like, the entire thing. I don't know how much of an answer I have for that.
Well, what other, like surrealist cinema would you recommend?
Waking Life, I know.
Yeah, Waking Life is great.
Anything by David Lynch.
Yeah. I mean, Koyaanisqatsi, you could say, is like that. It's kind of like an experimental documentary.
Do you think the Linklater is still friends with Alex Jones?
Oh yeah, he was in Waking Life.
He was in the
He was
Scanner
also in the
Darkly as
Scanner
well.
Darkly, just voicing the
That's a good
protest
one
in the background.
for Yogi, if you've not seen that one. Scanner
Yeah,
Darkly.
I don't know if Alex Jones was ever like he was always Mr. Conspiracy, but he definitely like got so much worse as time went on.
He made some movies. I think he made some movies. I'll look him up on IMDb.
Weirdo documentaries.
Yeah, documentaries.
By the way, if you like Waking Life, just that show I recommended earlier, The Midnight Gospel. If you love Waking Life, you might love that one.
So they had so speaking of Midnight Gospel, they have Damien Eccles as one of the I don't know if you guys know did you ever has anyone here seen Paradise Lost?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, so the interesting thing about that and everything
it's
that's
that
happening-
guy. Oh, I've seen it. Oh, I didn't recognize him.
So he's
I
the
saw the whole
fishbowl.
show and I didn't recognize it's the guy from Paradise Lost. It's
the fishbowl.
Paradise Lost. It's about a bunch of it's like 3 people accused of a murder. The whole question is, did they do it? And Damien Eccles is
the thing
easily
about
the most suspicious one because he's into Aleister Crowley and stuff.
No, but it's actually interesting because it was kind of like I looked up stuff after it, and it turns out it was actually very manipulative. Like the documentaries were quite manipulative.
Did you watch all the documentaries? There's like 3 of them,
yes,
right?
I watched all. Yeah, I watched all of them. They're all like 3 hours long.
Who? Alex Jones's documentaries?
No, we're talking about Paradise Lost.
Sorry.
So it's
sorry.
quite interesting because they're quite. And I looked up a bunch of stuff afterwards because you get into it, and it's like there was a lot more shit they didn't show that actually, like, because it was a very narrative like that, like this was happening, and they were like accusing these kids, and like, but like if you watch it, there's actual evidence, and it's not as like, it's not like the movies make it like look like they're just completely like there's just no chance, like Damien Eccles especially is like this fucking crazy kid. He used to he actually used to he used to cut his girlfriend and then like drink her blood.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like that was the part of like the whole satanic panic thing, right?
Yeah, no, that wasn't it. There was a lot more like other than that. There's like
That's
actual
crazy.
a lot of evidence that he was like constantly lying and that he was actually there and like there was like like they had like
And what is this evidence from like another documentary? I'm curious.
No, this was I was just like it was just like it was like this giant not post but like an actual article from like some like I can't remember. I think it was either like an actual like it was like it was a journalist. I have to look it up. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, in the
Yeah,
midnight-
you never
in the
know.
midnight
There's always
gospel,
going to
he
be
voices
like
this
contradicting and
narcissistic asshole.
Yeah, it was
dissenting
definitely like
opinions on
it
this.
was very like I was like shocked when I like looked all this stuff up and like.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the documentary on IMDb, and apparently an alternate title for the 2006 horror film Touristas was Paradise Lost.
Oh,
That was a bad movie.
But yeah, he's also like Damien Eccles, especially has like ever since he like got out of prison, he's like grifted hard off of it too.
Man, I forgot about Touristas.
Robin Hood.
Like he still does all like crazy shit. Like he has like he does like Reiki stuff and like he he moved to Salem. He literally moved to Salem with his wife because he felt like he was normal there, and now he charges like $500 for like Reiki sessions, which is pretty much like spirit healing. Like he's a crazy either no matter what he's definitely a piece of shit.
Yeah, he voices a piece of shit in the show as well. So
I'll be right back. Hold on.
guess.
Give me a minute.
But I didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
the name sounded familiar when he showed it in the credits.
The fish guy.
He voices a fish guy, but the fish guy is like, without spoiling it, he's like this manipulative weirdo.
It's a podcast. It's super weird. Like there's not really much to
Yeah, it's
spoil.
based on a podcast, but the show has like a story.
Yeah,
each episode has a story. It's way more creative than just voicing a podcast. It's a lot more than that.
The reason I was asking about the surrealist cinema is because I wanted to work on a script that I want to eventually, make production for in college, and I wanted to make it very complicated and out of order, but I also don't want to contradict anything of the rules of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You shouldn't just ask Adam. I mean, there's a ton that he hasn't seen. I know he hasn't seen any Well or something, and you should probably just find those movies yourself and watch them and decide for your own which ones you like and which ones you don't, or maybe read up on them.
Yeah,
probably just scan
Clear
through
your mind
Criterion a
up
lot.
on what exactly you like and just work from there, because
You'll eventually find what you're
guessing
looking
at
for.
it's not gonna-
There'll be a style that you'll land on, I'm sure, that you'll
Have
really
any
want
of you
to express.
seen Inherent Vice? Because that's
Oh, no, I haven't seen
it's very mixed and complicated, but random.
Are you talking about atypical story structure again?
Yeah. Well, I'm working on a script, and I wanted to, make production when I'm out of high school, and I wanted to make it very complicated and out of order in a way.
I mean,
I wasn't really sure where to
I don't
go.
know. I don't know if that should necessarily be the goal. Like if there's ideas that you want to tell in that way for a purpose, then yeah. But I don't know if the goal, the starting point should just be to make it complicated.
Oh no, I have the story and everything. I just wanted to tell it in a way because I feel like that would just make the most sense, and I don't want to sugarcoat anything.
Is there any
well, I mean, when you
race-
say Holy Mountain, do you mean in that vein?
Well, not in the it's not gonna have turning shit to blood to gold.
But you're talking about a more metaphorical approach.
Yeah, but kind of I guess a better example is a Gaspar Noé film in terms of anxiety and craziness, I guess.
Right.
Or maybe Inherent Vice in terms of, or even Shane Carruth would be a good example of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know. The first point to get there would just be to start writing, and then If you don't like how it's turning out, rearrange it. If you don't like how it's turning out, rewrite certain parts. You like to get there, you kind of have to like just start, even if you're not confident about something, and then turn it into something that's better if it's not what you want it to be.
I don't want to sound pretentious or anything, but I don't really, because I feel like one of the best things about movies is after you watch it and then discussing it and having your own thoughts in it. That's why I love movies like The Holy Mountain or like a Charlie Kaufman film. As opposed to something that's just very handed to you or hand-fisted and gives you answers instead of just forming your own. And
yeah, it depends. It depends how you do
Those
it.
type of films can be good as well. It just depends on how they're presented and the stylistic choices, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, presentation is one of the most important factors. But like I don't know. You have to be really careful about doing those sorts of things, because if you do have something where you go into it and the expectation is like, okay, I know the answers. If people look into it, they'll know the answers, but it's not apparent right away. I mean, like, yeah, if you have a really good idea and the presentation's great and you know what you're doing, and then the movie itself is good enough that people want to look into it more, that works out really well. However, another example of somebody who does that exact same kind of thing is Neil Breen. Neil Breen is full of that sort of thing. So like it can really easily come off as like stupid. Like there's so much that happens in Neil Breen's films where it's unexplained and it doesn't make sense, and it makes sense to him, but you have to be aware of how it can be perceived by an audience if you don't want it to come off as like really stupid.
The first step is identifying with the characters in the universe. Everything else should come after. That's basically the main.
Yeah, cover the
takeaway.
basics.
I think Lars von Trier is a good example of doing it right and not doing it right as well.
Yeah.
Because you could look into what he does, like in Antichrist and certain films like that, but then you could watch Nymphomaniac and you're like, what is this? Like, you're kind of...
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Godard, it's always something I wanted to bring up. There's his film, The Image Book, which I never saw, but apparently it's just a collage of
Oh yeah, I almost saw
pre-existing
that.
video clips. And when he was interviewed about it, somebody asked, "Oh, you included a clip from Michael Bay's 13 Hours. What do you think of Michael Bay, and what do you think of 13 Hours?" And just try and guess what Jean-Luc Godard answered. Just guess, just try. He answered, "I don't know who Michael Bay is. I don't know what that movie is."
Interesting.
And the interviewer had to point out to him what he put in his own movie. And Jean-Luc Godard basically said, "Oh, well, if I put it there, it probably has a point."
That's kind of
like
funny.
Self-parody at this point.
That's hilarious.
He's still interesting to me. I haven't seen like the stuff that I know I should watch to even comment on him as a filmmaker, but he's still kind of interesting.
He's like
very
like the 60s
experimental.
Yeah, but we're talking
Jean-Luc
about Jean-Luc
Godard.
Godard, and
Yeah.
and that he, like, in my personal opinion, he commits that sin. I saw his film called King Lear, and both on like a basic level and an interpretable level, it fails. Just all of the
definitely one of
rule-breaking stuff was just distracting rather than adding to an already interesting story. And the story itself doesn't make sense. In that movie, it's a post-apocalypse, and just some dude tries to reconstruct all of Shakespeare's plays for the Queen of England, something like that. But he can't find a historian, he can't find a literature professor. He literally has to go to like these random homeless people. And so that's like the basic premise doesn't make sense. There's no real character development. The only stuff that you can get out of it is through like suddenly scenes cutting to themselves and words flashing on the screen, but it doesn't earn it. That's the point. It doesn't earn it. There's no impressive filmmaking, nothing.
One of my
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
one of my biggest inspirations is actually Shane Carruth, because I've always loved his craft and always his storytelling. How he really just doesn't really do you any favors. It's all up to you, and I just always appreciated that.
Yeah.
I really want to see Upstream Color, so I can hear you guys
Great.
talk about it on
Find
the
it anywhere.
podcast.
It's great.
I wonder
It's
what
like this-
regular.
I fell asleep for whatever reason watching it. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not
It's a
saying
relaxing
it was
movie,
bad.
Cam.
I was just tired.
Oh,
But I just
wait.
remember watching
We
the
don't know.
beginning part with the bugs, or I barely remember.
I wonder
Yeah,
what
it was-
local audiences thought of Primer. 'Cause that's just-
Primer became a cult classic before
Yeah.
Upstream
No,
Color
but,
was
like, when
even
it
released.
first- Like I just wonder if they expected something more mainstream, and then they just got what they got.
I mean, it was like a film fest movie. Pretty sure it
Yeah,
was.
I was like,
I think it was probably Sundance or something.
everyone's like,
I mean, it made its money back. It made. pretty
Oh,
good
100%. I mean, yeah. It,
such a low
it
budget,
didn't
you
cost
can't
any money to
stop
make.
$7,000.
Upstream Color is like a movie where part of the fun is deciphering what the basic story is, and it's the only film I can think of where that's like I actually want to do that, even though I don't understand the story at all. I still want to enjoy it because there's craft like as a part of it, and you can clearly like see that it was made with intent, and there is a story there.
Yeah.
I think
Just
somebody mapped it out.
farm cutting to a train station.
yeah, I watched that video,
You
and I
know
still.
the intent
It's
there,
like I
and
understand
that's
why
it.
I don't understand now. I don't understand it, but I understand why I don't understand.
Yeah.
I think it's very. I think it's more about what the audience gets out of it than the effort that was put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? You like the whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam, what
It's a film
ratings
where,
would you
despite
give?
not knowing anything about the story, you still want to know anything more about the story. It's a big exception to like this rule I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Adam, what ratings would you give Shane Carruth's movies? I mean, or did
I
you
think
give?
Upstream Color is at an 8 or a 9, and then Primer is currently at a 10. I don't know if it is a 10, but because I haven't seen it in like 8 years or something. So
I have
I'd
one
like
question
to
about
see it again.
Sticky, though.
It's free on YouTube.
I just was
it is?
wondering,
Yeah.
like the first time,
definitely watch it.
the first time everyone watched Synecdoche, did you guys like see that stuff that was happening in like the first like 5 minutes of like the time passing?
No.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I got some, like
I caught bits of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did like.
I had the
Some
radio.
Happy Halloween
and that's
confused me
probably
in the
the-
background. That's it.
I somehow didn't spot like Sammy throughout the movie. That was his name, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, right,
I caught him in the first watch. Not every instance, but
Because I missed it when like
I didn't catch him once, and I was so like.
we got the
I
phone
didn't catch
call
him
and that
once.
weird creepy shadow was outside
Mhm.
his window. I like initially interpreted that as like a literal interpretation of death.
mm.
I was like,
Just knocking on
oh.
the door.
Yeah, I
know
noticed.
what,
I noticed him when Caden was talking to
Hazel.
redhead. I forget her name already. Hazel. Yeah.
Hazel.
Yeah. When they were on the bench talking
That in
about
the background.
the book, yeah, and he like leans out
Kafka.
from the tree. That's when I first started noticing him, and then when you see him once, then you start noticing him more.
I showed my dad the Holy Mountain because I loved it so much, and I wanted to see how he would react. And he kept like saying his interpretations out loud as the movie was going on. I was actually impressed because he was like, "Oh my god, this means this and this means that." I was like, I thought he would have like more of a what the fuck reaction.
That's
Yeah.
how my dad reacted. Me and my dad watched it together for the first time.
That's
And
I
he
think-
was just fucking the whole time.
I think the Holy Mountain is like the perfect level between like if you're gonna do a film that's making a lot of metaphorical statements and commenting on religion, society, class, etc. I think that's a film that just hits this perfect sweet spot that isn't so obtuse, that isn't so like uninterpretable that you can't get anything out of it from a first watch. Like you can tell what it's going for very clearly, even if you don't get every detail about what it's doing. and that's part of why I
Same
enjoy
with
it so much.
Synecdoche. I'd say it's more with Synecdoche than Holy Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Synecdoche's definitely.
Oh, I thought it was
enjoyable.
interesting. I was like going back watching old videos. I remember that you and Chris Stuckman pretty much around the same time made the enemy analysis video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys had like two very different interpretations.
I really want to watch Enemy.
That's probably one of my favorite videos from you, Adam. Actually, the anime.
Oh yeah. There's a
Yeah, I remember watching
man. There's like a tiny update to that video, but I can't say it because it's spoilery, I guess. Like I mean, like there's a statue in Montreal, and the name of the statue says a lot about what the movie. Like I'm not gonna say what it is, but like my interpretation was like very close. Even what I was saying was like more general, but the if you look up this statue in Montreal that's like of a spider, basically, the name of that statue whittles down what I was saying to a more specific degree.
Wait, Chris Stuckman brought up that
statue
video.
Oh, did he?
Spoiler statue.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you don't want to like know what the movie is going for, don't look it up.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm trying to know as little about it as possible before like going in.
Yeah.
It was great. My favorite part about it is it's so weird. Like it's so, even though about how weird it is, it's very accessible at the same time.
Yeah, for the most part.
That's very good. Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping for. That it wouldn't be something I just wouldn't like at all because I just wasn't accessible. Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be like sort of like Dai's fantasy video where you can have a million different interpretations of it, but it's still sort of accessible, I guess.
I mean, it's very different from that, but
yeah, I know it's very different, but I'm just I've heard tons of different interpretations of that video all over the internet, and they all work and stuff.
Most people seem to have like the same general idea about Enemy. Like it doesn't seem like there's two.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think Enemy
like,
is like super complex in what it's going for.
I've heard many people say that they were terrified by the ending.
Yeah. No spoilers.
Say anything.
Yeah, let's just.
Let's move on.
I mean,
Could
you
I
would be
ask
terrified
something?
too if that
Hello?
happened to you.
Yeah.
Hello?
The only
Hello,
thing
hello?
about it is I'm worried that my parents might not let me watch it since there's apparently some sexual scenes or something.
There's a pregnant woman that's naked. That's what I
don't
remember.
tell me anything.
There's a strip club.
Yeah, I know. I know about that. Just don't say anything more. I'm still hoping I'll be able to watch it because it does look very interesting. Animated into Chris Stuckman's Film Buff's bucket list book.
Yeah.
So that makes it worth checking out.
It's got an amazing soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Love this soundtrack.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I
Hello?
binged the
Hello.
Avatar series.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. I'll let you finish. I just have something I wanted to bring up.
I binged the Avatar series for the first time since I was like a baby. I thought it's pretty great still. I feel like it kind of had to hold back sometimes just because it's a kid show, but which is fair. But like, but I feel like it's still pretty great. I love the soundtrack and the fight, like the choreo, like it's cartoons, but the choreography and the like, it's pretty great stuff.
What did you want to ask?
Hello. Oh yeah. Sorry. First of all, thank you very much for this event. It's really, really great. I almost missed it. I was watching 7500, the Amazon movie with Justin Gordon-Levitt, and then I checked my email, and then I put on a T-shirt for this. But I've never listened to any of these before. But I just a comment Adam made just a second ago, just about Enemy and just watching movies, and like if you want to watch it, don't read up about anything about it. I've watched about 45 movies now since the beginning of this quarantine, and I've learned a lot about my own personal movie habits, and I find that I take in more watching the film, and I actually invest myself more if I actually read the Wikipedia synopsis beforehand.
I've done that.
If I read how it is, and I just want to know, does
I don't do that before though. if I'm watching a movie from start to finish, and I'm confused about something that happened, then and I don't really feel like rewinding it to find out exactly where it was explained, then I'll go to the Wikipedia plot synopsis thing, but I won't read further than where I am in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that with the
Yeah,
IMDb
same.
synopsis ones as well.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty helpful for certain films.
The Wikipedia one is usually, I find, better because it like the IMDb ones summarize the film, but the Wikipedia ones give like a pretty point by point of anything that's like relevant to understanding what's going on in the film.
Yeah, they're also like full
All right,
spoilers, so
okay.
I avoid them
good.
before
Yeah.
watching something.
Yeah, the Wikipedia plot synopsis spoils the whole movie. But
Yeah, I found that reading up on a film after I watch it, I like whether it's reviews or behind the scenes stuff, I just generally get more of an idea on what the
Yeah.
film was and was trying to be. And that's like interesting, I get more knowledge, and also like I have a lot of free time and it kills time. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, in regards to, I think it was Augie who asked about films with
surrealist stuff.
What was the word? Different structures.
Mhm.
There's a film called Distant Voices, Still Lives that I think pretty much all of you should watch. It's
Isn't that an
great.
anime?
What's it called?
Distant Voices, Still Lives. No, it's not anime. It's 1988. It's British. It's really good.
Okay.
I'll add that to my watch list.
Me too.
Yeah, it's really good.
Certified Copy is pretty atypical as it gets towards the end, I guess.
That's
Where
what
have
I
I
meant.
heard that from before?
Atypical structure. It's a great film.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
No, I meant Distant. Okay, I haven't seen Certified Copy.
Oh, okay.
Yet, but yeah, looking forward to it. Too bad it's weird that specifically Iran, out of every country in the Middle East and like the surrounding area, that's the country that has like these influential directors. That's Abbas Kiarostami.
Why is that surprising though?
I don't know why. No, I'm just questioning why specifically that country.
I think, despite their government, Iran is, like a bit more progressive than a lot of other Middle Eastern countries.
I have a friend.
Well,
Israel
is also kind of progressive. Why do most of our movies suck? Actually, no. I think I know why.
I mean, it
we have,
depends
like,
on
a
the art
rule
scene
that-
too.
Yeah, our government, there's like a rule if your movie goes like if it's overly critical against the country, it won't get funded by this state, which is stupid. There was
Same
this
with
film,
China, I'm pretty sure.
There was this film Foxtrot, which it wasn't even like that critical of the military, but it still like got a lot of flack from Israeli officials, and it's a decent movie. It's definitely ambitious, but I don't understand all the hate. Like it's strange here and just squanders talent. Really, like if you want to appeal to artists all around the world, you need to show that like you can admit your own flaws. That's like part of art, is exploring yourself.
Right? Some people are too stubborn for that.
Well,
I suppose.
they're very, especially about that. I mean, you obviously know you're there. They're very hardline. They don't really like never mind. I'm not gonna get into that right now.
You'd be surprised. They kind of like Israel really doesn't like criticism against itself, so it's kind of hard to find other people that are critical of the country. It's not indoctrination, but there are like laws where the education system must nurture the love for the country or something.
Yeah, it's like a bit nationalist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I mean, we are basically just we are a Jewish state. It's kind of
I watched a documentary
from the beginning.
As I
No,
said,
you
I
can
watched a
talk.
Sorry.
You
Are
can
good?
talk. You can talk. I'm
Okay,
done.
okay, sorry. I just watched a documentary recently. It was It's called it was a Gaza's Fight for Freedom or something like that. I don't know if you're gonna be able to watch it there. I don't know if that's like I don't know how like they do that over. I don't know how like Israel like if they censor it or not or whatever.
No, no, they're not China.
Okay.
But they are.
But if you
like,
look
they
at
don't censor. They don't like heavily censor already existing art, but they are
Okay.
like. It's just a country that's up its own ass, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's a great.
Most countries.
It's a great documentary. I would check it out. It's on that. It's on that.
What's it called again?
I'm subscribed to
Gaza.
Gaza's Fight for Freedom.
Okay.
What country is the Waltz with Bashir director?
That's Israel also.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Pretty
thinking.
sure.
That's a great movie.
Pretty sure he's Israeli.
Yeah, it's on that Means TV. I guess I'm probably the like one of the 10 people who are actually subscribed to that. But it's on there if you. There's some other good stuff on there, but
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I'd also recommend a film called Paradise Now from 2005.
I've heard of that.
Interesting film. It's like it is like a Gazan film, and it's pretty simple but still very engaging.
Yeah, that's on my watch list already.
Good.
All right, there's a sandwich waiting for me downstairs. I think I'm gonna end this hangout pretty soon. Is there any anybody didn't get to ask a question or wanted to jump in and before I ended?
I just want to say one thing. I know that you're probably like you have a ton of games you want to play for your gaming channel. I assume
a huge list.
But yeah. And if it's not too much, at least there's a series of games called Danganronpa, which are these crazy Japanese visual novels, and like I like them in like the same way you like Saw, I guess. That's comparable, and they are very
can you say the title again? I'm gonna add it to my list.
Danganronpa. It's Japanese. It's
RON what
very
A?
strange. I'll type it in the Zoom chat, I guess.
Okay.
That's what it's called. They're all on Steam, so it shouldn't be hard to find.
All right.
They're all very, very, very surreal and strange and great soundtracks, but yeah, they're bizarre.
I was watching the Canon Lynch. I was watching the Canon Lynch videos. I thought that Army of Two would be a funny one for the next one, kind of like that.
I would like more co-op things to play.
Yeah, Army of Two.
Well, I need to.
I can watch that because the cameraman. The camera
So
was just
I'm
made me
disconnected
feel
for
ill.
now.
Yeah, motion
Bye-bye.
sickness. The game.
So
I
bad.
was watching it at 1.5 too, so I couldn't. I usually watch the playthroughs like that on the 1.5.
Felt sick after 20 minutes. I was so upset when you couldn't find that emotion blur off thing.
I mean, we found the option at some point, but then I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna turn it off." I want to experience the game in the default setting, man. Because like the whole reason we're playing it is because it's bad. So why would I want to get rid of the bad?
You probably saw the comments on the Nightfire videos, but there's like you're playing like the PC version, which was like this horrible
we
port
know.
that they made. Yeah.
I was aware of this before we even started playing it because the only reason we played it is because Gael wanted to join in and have like a nostalgia trip basically, and he played the PC version, and so it was important that we played the PC version just for his sake. So
I played the Xbox version like fucking nonstop when I was a kid.
Yeah, I played the multiplayer on PS2 at my friend's house. Or GameCube,
Well, I
I
need
think.
to go. It's 1 a.m. here. I need to go
All
to
right.
sleep.
Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I enjoyed being here. Bye-bye.
I've got one question to ask, if that's all right.
Sure.
There was when you started your Dark Souls playthrough, I decided that because I'd never played before, I'd like play along with your YouTube clips and almost like kind of catch up with where you were. And I noticed like at the end when I finished it and you finished it, you jumped straight onto Dark Souls 2. And I was wondering if they were going to be uploaded to YouTube anytime soon, because I bought the second game just to
I'll it won't be too much longer, I don't think. Yeah, there's like 20. There's like 20 some, like 29 parts already. I usually just, because they're so sporadically played, like I'm almost near the end of it. There's like 6 more bosses or something. I usually
Alright.
don't like to start uploading them until I get to that. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I missed a phone call. Sorry. Hold on.
Right.
Okay.
Oh well.
Never mind. That wasn't anything important.
Hold on, let me check
That was
that.
probably
I got
like a
Twitter roasted
telemarketer or
by
something.
the director of Invisible Man.
Sorry, what?
Okay, yeah.
I got Twitter roasted by the director of Invisible Man.
Lee Winnell.
Lee Winnell.
Yeah.
Lee Winnell.
I said I replied to something about it. Like it wasn't on his page. I just said I giggled at the trailer. And then he replied to me that he said I laughed at your face, so that was something.
Oh, that's weird.
That's hilarious.
What's that?
That was
Got
funny.
him.
I felt bad. I mean,
He's like relatively successful. You think you wouldn't
Yeah.
need to do that?
No, I don't think. I think you're just fucking around.
Yeah, probably.
I hate like AVI roasts and Twitter and
I
stuff
didn't
like
take any
that. Like it
offense to
means
it.
nothing at all.
Yeah.
Adam, I'd like to ask you a question about
Sure.
like League now. You gave both Upgrade and the Invisible Man the same rating, yet I think you enjoyed the Invisible Man a lot less because
Correct.
you played about like towards the end it got kind of dumb, and I agree with
Yeah.
that. I guess I don't know. And yet you gave
Yeah,
it the
I
same
mean
rating
the
as
upgrade was a more fun experience. It was the tone that it was going for was something that I connected with more. And if Upgrade was as consistent as something like Crank, where the entire movie was that tone and experience, then I would have given it a higher rating. Unfortunately, half the movie takes itself a little seriously and is stupid. So that's why it's a 5 out of 10, is because half the movie's dumb. But I enjoyed the half that I enjoyed enough to like buy it on Blu-ray and I'll watch it again. So it might show up on my like guilty pleasure thing.
All right, yeah. Could you see yourself putting it on the guilty pleasure section of your 2018
Yeah, probably.
list?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I'll watch it for a second time. It's I remember it being fun, so.
Yeah. Also, about your Swallow review, like I know you're pretty reserved with your positive rating. That's fine. I respect that. But most of your review made it sound like you were going to give it a 7.
That's what I hear.
You just gave it a 6.
Yeah, well, because I don't know how many movies are out there where I get bored in the middle of the movie and I'd still give it a 7. And I did mention that in my review. It's like I was pretty uninvested for a good 20 minutes in the movie, but it got better at the end.
I was still expecting you to at least be like, yeah, it's probably closer to a 7 than
If
a 5 because you had
if
a
it's
lot
a
of
movie,
great things to say.
6 is not a bad rating. I don't think that I don't feel bad about it.
I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying.
I mean, I still don't think it's closer to a 7 than a 5. I think it's a pretty solid 6. A movie that would get a 7, even if I was bored in the middle of it, would probably have to have like much better cinematography, much better performances and scale. Like it was a good, nice, solid movie. It wasn't anything like incredible.
I mean, I saw the trailer and some of the cinematography looked nice.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I still want to watch it at some point.
Don't Look Now?
Yeah, because I thought you got like really uninterested. I remember from the episode of the podcast, I thought you got really uninterested.
Yeah, and I think I gave it a 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean that
kinda
one
bad.
that one's a bit more like there's choices that I like in it. What Ralph was saying about the sex scene I agree with, and just like how that was presented. It is an older film, and it's also another thing to consider is like that it was pretty influential also. So you got to give it like some credit for that, I think.
Yeah.
Like Ari
That one gets
Aster
hyped up
very
so
clearly
much.
was inspired by that movie.
I just thought it was kind of goofy, but
It was goofy. I thought the ending was stupid and hilarious, but still a good movie.
No,
I mean, like
The ending for
the ending
Don't
of
Look
Vertigo
Now.
is bad too. So,
I'm not gonna.
You don't like the ending of Vertigo?
I think it's hilarious.
That's
Yeah, like the last
I'm
thing
not
that,
gonna-
without spoiling it, the last thing that happens in the movie is fucking hilarious. It's like a laugh out loud moment.
Yeah. Stupid. I thought the beginning of the Don't Look Now was also pretty stupid. Like the way he like grounded.
It's laughable. Like you can like the ending of both of those movies you can just watch on YouTube for comedy kicks, I think. The rest of the movie is like pretty great, but
beginning he's like with his
What movie? You're talking about Vertigo or
Don't Look
both.
Now.
I'm talking about both. Oh, Augie was talking about Don't Look Now. All right, any other closing question comments?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You said-
sorry.
You go first.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to confirm something you said on the Twitch stream.
Sure.
You mentioned something about looking for an editor on Ray Adam Play's channel? Or...
I think that there's space for another one at this moment, yes.
Yeah, because the only reason I'm asking is because I sent you an email with a submission a few days ago.
How long ago did you send that? A few days ago?
Two
oh
days
yeah,
ago.
no, I responded to that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I
'Cause
definitely responded to that.
Huh.
Or at least maybe, I don't know, did it not send correctly? I thought I
don't know.
I
I'm
typed
checking
out a
it right now.
message, and I'm pretty sure I hit send.
Oh yeah. I think I got it. I think.
Yeah.
Thank
you for that.
Yeah, I see it. All right. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I didn't see it for whatever reason.
Oh, no
My
worries.
Last thing. Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
My last thing was you mentioned Ralph, and I've been meaning to ask. I just forgot about if you ever watched Mr. Robot or not.
Well, he gifted me the Blu-rays, so I will watch them. I don't know when I'm going to do that, as I'm pretty
just so-
jam-packed at the moment. But
I know.
I will.
I
will.
solid.
I'll give it another chance.
Oh, you tried before?
Yeah, I watched like the first 3 episodes, I think, and was like, "Yeah, this is fine," and then just never continued.
I don't know. I thought I got really into it, so I can't really say it gets better. But
I know
thought it
that
was all
crazier
great,
things
so.
happen. I know that the story gets expanded.
I'm definitely. Yeah. I meant like just in terms of like there's just so great specific episodes too, because he just fucking does whatever he wants.
Yeah, the whole show's done now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that makes it a little less intimidating.
Yeah, and he after the first season, it's the same guy directing every single episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the executive
it's such a
producer
passion
and the
project.
director of every episode, which is
Is
very
that
unusual.
Esmail?
Yes.
Okay.
Very Fincher inspired, I think.
Yeah.
Especially the first season.
Yeah, and then who did the? And then what's his? I can't think. Why can't I think of his name? Did the first episode?
Oh, was it not Sam Esmail?
No, the first episode was. Why can't? It's a big person too.
John Hamm.
No. Oh my
I'll
god!
just tell you. It was
Neil Breen.
Niels Arden Oplev. I'm not. Oh yeah, he done the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Flatliners 2017.
Well,
nice.
Not everything's it.
Nice.
Any other closing question comments?
Sorry, I was just wondering. It just reminded me. I know you're wearing a Cannes shirt there.
Yes.
And there's been plenty of times when I've tried to apply for the Cannes Film Festival. What was it called again? For
3 days in
young
Cannes.
people. 3 days in Cannes. Tried to apply for that, but it wasn't. It was still saying like I think the last time it was like 2018, but it was already 2019. And I was trying to apply for the 2019 one, but it still had things up for the 2018 one. So I'm just wondering, do I send my letter to them anyway, or do I just wait until the application?
Oh, I mean, you should apply every year that there's an application. And if it's showing the previous year, you can always send an email because they should on the website somewhere have a general info or email a specific department if you're confused and then just ask them hey, is the application up yet, or where should I send this, or when should I wait, sort of thing.
They're really good for that.
I heard there's people who just wait outside with like signs.
Oh yeah.
Asking for tickets in.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
suppose, yeah. And if I don't get in, it's still a trip to Cannes, I guess.
Yeah. Cannes not happening
Hey,
this year.
God.
I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of
Oh,
is, but not to the public. It's literally just industry people,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
100% would love to go though one day.
Can't even do critics. What were you asking?
Which is weird, you know.
I mean, it's the fucking COVID shit, right? So.
I know. I just meant like just the lack of critics. Like it's just for people to watch it. I guess like.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
just
just
always-
literally just industry people. So they're gonna have like
So-
they're still gonna have judges, I guess, and there's still gonna be a Palme d'Or. It's just like
Okay.
nobody's gonna be able to see these movies for a while.
I submit something to a teen film festival, which is actually virtual, and they have judges and everything for that.
Oh, great. Is it on
Yeah.
like YouTube or something?
I don't know. I think it might be its own website, but I'm not really sure.
Mhm.
But it's good that things like this are happening because
Yeah.
they're still finding ways. You know,
Yeah, we don't. Who knows if TIFF is gonna happen? But
I'm just focused on
Let's
a post COVID world.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna need to leave. This was
All right, thanks for
This
joining.
was great. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thanks for
much,
hanging out.
Adam, for doing all this.
Hi.
This is so great. It's my first time, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your support.
My town, which is a pretty small town, but still, it's only 1% COVID, so that's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's been dying down.
1%.
Yeah. Adam, what do you think of this whole news case of like Christopher Nolan's Tenet still playing in theater?
I
Just
think it's
still
fucking
delayed
irresponsible and fucking greedy. I think it's stupid. I think that people are like at least now the theater chains are saying that they'll require people to wear masks. But Garen fucking Teed, you're sitting in a dark theater in America. People are going to take them off. They're still going to be selling popcorn and drinks, right? They aren't going to stop doing that. How are they going to eat their popcorn and drink their drinks?
If
Some
they allow
asshole is going to
people
take
to
their
wear-
fucking mask off in the middle of the theater. It's going to be like half the theater that just goes, this is uncomfortable and nobody can see me because it's in the dark. So I don't know. Like, I'm probably, if I see that in theaters, which I don't even know if I will, it's not going to be fucking opening week. Like,
Nope.
I'm trying to be safe because,
neither.
like, the thing is with COVID, people look at like the death rate and it's like, yeah, it only really kills older people. Yeah, that's true, but it can kill younger people. And if you get a severe case of it, if you have like the symptoms that where you're coughing for like weeks or whatever, and you get to that point, you can seriously get permanent damage. Like, you can get permanent damage to your
really
lungs. There's
fucking
young
weird.
people that have had to get lung transplants because of this. They can cause
Yeah, no,
permanent
that's
kidney
scary.
damage. It can cause permanent heart damage. So I'm just trying to avoid it at all costs, because even if I don't think I'm going to die from it, I would like to be able to like sing still. I would like to be able to like use my voice and breathe properly still. So I just want to not get
Didn't
it.
Alex have it? Wait, didn't Alex have it?
Yeah, he had it. I don't know how severely. But it seemed pretty like he wasn't hospitalized or anything. So I mean, like, I'm curious about it too,
Your
if he
friend
feels
had
like he's fully recovered. Because even weeks after, when I asked him about it, and he sounded fine on the podcast, he didn't sound sick. He didn't like. It sounded like he still didn't feel like back to normal. So I don't know. He might be
Well,
completely
it's a
back to normal
process.
now.
Yeah.
It's not like just a cold or anything, right? Like, it can cause permanent damage, like
And what's
legit
also-
permanent.
Well, to some people.
You know, what's also annoying is that like if the theaters don't have AC, it might be kind of hard for trying to breathe through the mask while you're trying to watch this movie and stuff.
I don't see them not having AC.
All
I think they'll
right,
keep
well,
the AC.
but
I think they're
still,
gonna change up
I'm
the
not
seatings.
really sure. It just sounds too risky. I don't think I'll go.
It sounds like I don't care about Christopher Nolan that much. I don't care about any movie that much to risk my health. Fuck it. I can still do other things on my channel. I can catch up on other things. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that my channel has to offer.
I'm guessing everyone here saw the Red Letter Media. That like beginning section was really weird.
Oh, which one?
Of their last video. With
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
With the Neo Brain. Oh, you didn't see that?
Not yet.
If you watch like the first like 5 minutes, they like go on not explicitly, but they do like a weird kind of like anti-quarantine rant thing. It was kind of
Oh, really?
weird. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll watch that.
We have
Yeah.
It's a very,
again.
very American.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's also like irresponsible is the fact that like Inception is going to be re-released in the theaters to
Oh, yeah, that
celebrate its
too.
10th anniversary, and that's why Tenet was delayed a little bit. And
Yeah.
I don't know, that also sounds a
Just
little
don't release any movies this year. Don't postpone the Oscars, and then Sonic will win Best Picture, and it'll be a good meme.
Obviously.
What could actually win this year? Just based on what's actually came out.
They're
in
like
theaters?
postponing it by 2 months. They're gonna like include
Actually-
movies released in January and February, and then the Oscars are gonna be held in April. So it seems like a lot of things are getting pushed to January and February. So who knows?
Based on how political the Oscars are, Birds of Prey could win Best Picture.
I don't think so. I don't think it can. I don't think it can even get a nom. If Captain Marvel
can't
didn't,
get-
Birds of Prey won't.
Well, that's because when Captain Marvel came out, there wasn't this whole shit going on.
Yeah, I think there'll be enough movies released by February, though, because they're extending the eligibility.
What is coming out again? I can't even think. I just haven't been paying
Last
attention.
Night in Soho, Tenet. I don't know, some other shit that I'm not remembering right now.
The Edgar Wright. It said it's going to be released in April of 2021.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but you never know, because like if it's at Cannes, so they could count that as a release. I don't know how. I don't remember their exact rules for what counts as a release date at the Oscars, but anyway, any other final questions and comments before I head out?
You're gonna do a quickie of Artemis Fowl.
That's the goal. Yeah, I might record that today. I don't know, maybe next week.
Disney Plus?
Alright.
No, I had a friend's account. That's how I watched it. But no, I will never sign up for Disney Plus.
They don't need more money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
I
not.
wasn't really
I
sure
did
about
not torrent the movie.
Yeah, that's what I
'Cause
wasn't
that's
sure
illegal.
about because you were the one saying that like don't support the Lion King in theaters because you'll just be giving more money to Disney. And yet when I heard that you were watching Artemis Fowl, I was like, oh great, Adam was still technically supporting Disney because he got the Disney Plus account. But then I realized that that's actually not the case. Stuff.
Yeah, a friend let me use their account. That's how I watched it.
Yeah,
I'm
good
not
thinking.
100% anti-torrent, but I try not to.
Did you watch the King of Staten Island? Just real quick.
Not yet. That's pretty new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely it's a Judd Apatow movie. It's one of the better ones, I think.
Well, a lot of people complaining that it's tonally all over the place.
Yeah,
All right, we'll see.
It's like it's still
I
it's
paid
a fun.
$20 for it, and it was not worth it.
Any other final questions, comments before I head out? We're all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for
Peace
hanging
out,
out. Refresh the Patreon page where the perks are sometime near the beginning of next month, and you'll see the new date. And yeah, I'll catch you all later. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Peace.
my boy.